first, and it was you. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Toys Hotline. We're really excited for the stream today. We have Marcos from CollectorZown.
Yep.
Big thanks to Marcos for coming out to our small channel to talk about your business and kind of share some insight on the inner workings of your business. I know a lot of people have questions like that, especially when they purchase from all these different comic shops, but they don't know who to trust. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen Marcos in the Facebook groups and on YouTube and such. So really awesome to have you on. We definitely want to encourage the people in the chat to ask questions because that's what Marcos is here for. He's here to answer your questions. And I definitely want to ask some questions myself because I personally have never purchased from him. I know Collecting Madness has, but I have not. So definitely very interesting for me. Let me pull up your website before we get started here.
I'm going to need this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't get the memo, man. I should have grabbed some for myself, but what did you say?
I always grab a drink. There's a lot of talking during this.
Why am I a dork? Hey, man. We're all dorks. If you collect hot toys, you're a dork. But anyways, whoever said that, it's probably someone I know. Make sure that you allow StreamYard on Facebook to see your name if you want to chat as yourself. Because I see that you're chatting as Facebook user and you may not know that.
Hey, the collector's in the house.
Oh, the collector, how's it going, man? I've seen you everywhere the past few days. It's good to see you pop in here. So Marcos, kind of, and you may have talked about this before on other streams, but I haven't personally caught it. If you have,
Sure.
kind of share with us how you got started with your company, and what fueled you to start the company. Was it your passion for collecting, or did it start as like a living for you, or kind of give us an insight on how you got started in the business?
Wow, in the collecting business. Well, I was always a collector. I'm less of a collector now than I am when I was a guy. When I was in my, when I was a kid, I collect Star Wars stuff. And then in my 20s, I started collecting probably Power. What was the 1996, 97? Was it Power of the Force? Was it Force?
Power of the Force. Mm-hmm.
That stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. But then I stopped. I completely stopped doing it. I actually had a bunch of Star Wars toys and a bunch of other stuff, and I was in college, and then I gave it all away to like a charity auction for the homeless. It was the craziest thing I did. I just said, why am I holding on to this stuff? So I did it.
Right.
But to answer your question, I mean, it's a little bit of a long story. But I was working for the state. I did law enforcement for about 10 years, and then I went to investigations here in Michigan. Well, it's just something. I worked for the state basically for 20 years, and on the side, I was doing some collecting stuff. Well, I did something that was absolutely nuts, and I talked my friends into it, and they're like, "You're crazy! It's not going to work." And then it worked, and then I invested whatever I made there into something else. I'm just trying to make this really short because it's a long
right.
story.
I feel you.
So, but I've been in the what I never wanted to be was your typical comic book shop, which is not a bad thing. I support comic shops. I support all that stuff. But I never wanted to be anything like them. I never wanted you to come into the store and say, "Oh, vintage toys again. Oh, there's NECA figures. Oh, there's comic books, spinners and balloons and stuff like that." And everybody knows me. That's not what I wanted. I always wanted to say, if I'm going to do something like this, I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to try to sell the best of the best. And then just little by little, I was getting my authorizations and, just learning, falling, picking myself up, learning again, talking to people, getting that network. And I think I've been selling statues probably the end of 2018 now, and it keeps growing. So I would start it with Sideshow. Sideshow was really hard to get into, but I got into them, and then from there, you need a reference, right? So my reference from this, I started working with this company, and this company says, "Oh, you do this," and then it's a snowball effect. You know what I mean? It just continues to grow. But I really learned a lot from collectors and all these other companies, not what to do. It's like I'm like, okay, cool. I see what you guys do, and now I don't want to do it. Not because it doesn't work. It's because I just wanted to be completely different. And people who know and buy from us know that we're something completely different than what you normally fall into, which is not a bad thing. I want to repeat myself in that. So that's how I started. I just kind of fell into it. And then but everything I've done since 2018 to now, I've completely planned it, and that's how I got into it. And I've just been learning, and now I kind of know a lot about the industry. So
Right. So you have physical brick and mortar locations, correct?
I have one in Michigan. It's in Three Oaks. It's a small little town in Michigan, which exactly what we wanted. People are like, oh, why don't you open in Chicago? I was like, I don't. I want people to go in there and then know why they're in there. That's one of my big complaints. Believe it or not, like foot traffic is one of my biggest complaints. It's like, oh, what are you here for? It's like, oh no, just some people will just walk in and say, what's this crap? They'll tell me to your face. I'm like, why are you selling this shit? Sorry, can I say that? Well, anyways, there's why are you selling this crap?
You're good.
And I'm like, what do you want? It's like, what do you want from me? Like,
Right,
why'd you come
exactly.
in here? Oh, you're just open. I hate that. I want people to come in and say, oh man, I drove an hour just to be here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's what I have to do. Yeah, and I do have an affiliate place in Kentucky too. She's kind of like she's like my Ahsoka. I'm teaching her as much as I possibly can and leaving her alone. Just like, okay, good luck. You're going to fall on your ass a little bit. Get up, get up, get up.
Right.
But when you're ready, she's going to be hopefully my second location, official location. And at the same time, I'm building a new building too. So it's
big moves. That's awesome.
Yeah, man,
That's awesome. It's good to hear.
A lot going on.
So
Yeah.
I want to ask you this, because you have such a strong social media presence, how much of your business do you think is made up of online sales? Is it a big portion of it, or is it kind of half and half?
It's probably more, yeah. I would say, yeah, it's a big portion is online. Yeah, because like I said, it's a small town, and it's really seasonal. It's actually almost a tourist town, really. I'm on the border of Indiana and Chicago, and a lot of, once it gets warm, everybody from Chicago comes around, and the town kind of fills up. But they're not there to, oh, it's CollectorZown, No,
Right.
they're just there for the beaches, and I live right next to the lake, and so. Yeah, so I would say really big chunk is online. So we emphasize on that, but we have every single time I get one local guy or female, anybody local.
Right.
Oh man, it's like welcome, and then they just love it, and then they become. I would say I would have about 100 plus repeat, collectors now in that area, the Midwest area.
That's good.
That's a guess though. I mean,
And you sell a huge variety of stuff, I've noticed on your website. Are Hot Toys your bread and butter, or is there something else that maybe I don't know about that you sell more of?
No, there's nothing that can say it's bread and butter.
Really?
Yeah, that's your typical mindset, right? Kind of like, well, what makes the money for them, and then what else? We sell. So the way we look at it is we separate it into, we sell statues, articulated figures, and if you go on the website, you see Funko. It's like, well, what Funko? Well, Funko to us is a starter vinyl statue.
Yeah.
People come in casually and say, God, I want that Predator. I don't have $2,500, but I'll take this Funko Predator. Yeah, sure, take it.
Right.
They didn't want to get into it. But yeah, every single thing you see on our website that we sell is because we got the authorization to sell it. So little by little, it grows more and more and more, and it just depends on models. And so statues, like Orange Studio is our 110 line,
Right.
Could be Kia sometimes. Here's a little secret too, that everything on our website that we sell gets kind of approved by me that I like it. I don't sell anything that I think is worthless,
There you go.
cheap. I think, man, that's too expensive. There are certain pieces out there that I just didn't put on the website because I'm like, who the hell's gonna pay like $400 for something so shitty? Like there's this thing, not to throw Tom Spina under the bus. Okay, Tom Spina's a great guy. He's the CEO guy of Regal Robot, but he just came out with this little Max Rebo maquette.
Oh yeah, I've seen
It's
that.
tiny, but they want like $400 for it. It's this big. I'm like,
Hefty price tag.
buddy, I don't know if I can sell that. I really, I don't know why it's so expensive, but I don't know if I can sell it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I want to say hi to a couple people in chat, and then
Sure,
we'll touch
man.
on a few things. Harpo, how's it going? Appreciate the kind words from Marcos. That's very kind of you. Clone Trooper, what's up, man? Glad to see you come back. Kumar always makes it out to the stream, guys. I'm telling you, Kumar, he
Love
doesn't
it.
miss. Appreciate you coming out, Kumar. Oh, and Kumar, I know you saw that Chrome Clone Trooper sell out. I told you last week, man. The collector says he's in southeast central Indiana. That's cool,
Nice.
man.
Yeah, cool.
And then Jason was our Facebook user who was talking crap when we first started the stream. So appreciate you coming out, Jason. What was I going to ask? Oh, so just to clear it up for those who haven't been on your website before and they may be looking at pricing and comparing it to other websites. These prices here, these are shipped with taxes and everything included, I'm assuming. Okay.
Yeah, it freaks people out, right?
Right,
So
right.
now I get less of that. I really don't get that question. But 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, people were like, dude, you guys suck. You know, like, what are you doing? It's like, why is this so expensive? And I'm like, no. This is shipped and taxes all included. And then they go, oh, okay.
Right.
You know,
I love that.
Yeah. We try to do that because if some, like I said, let's go back to one of the first questions. We try to be different.
Mm-hmm.
We calculate everything now for you. So this is the price. This is what you're getting into. So we're just upfront with it. So if you can't really afford it, I will tell you, you can't afford it. Just be mindful of it. No, because people fall for that trap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to give you a small deposit for 4 things, but all of a sudden I'm going to charge you shipping at a 2023, 2024 rate, which is every time it hits December 1st or January 1st, it goes up 3-4%. It's going to hit you hard, especially now that what's happening now is once that boat lands, yeah, things are behind, but once the boat lands, holy crap, everything pours in. 6-7 hot toys, statues. I mean, I get boxes all day long. You're going to get screwed over, right? So
that's going to be early next year, man. There's so many hot toys planned for Q1 2023, and everybody who's not paying attention or budgeting properly, you're going to get hit.
Yep.
That's a very good point.
If they think they're getting hit right now, just wait.
Yeah, and then you get hit.
Sideshow's moving a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, this keeps you kind of in check. And, I mean, everybody kind of talks to me anyways, but if that price is $429.99 for that War Machine, it's $429.99 with shipping and everything. And that's before, we'll go into the discounts and stuff. But that's it. That's what your price is.
I was just about to say, even with the discounts or if you have points and whatnot, that makes it so much better because then you already see that price. So it makes you feel like you're getting a deal. Because compared to Sideshow, it's like, well, that's what I'm saying is like you actually are. Rather, if it was like Sideshow and then they take away and then add that tax and shipping it, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't feel like you're getting your money's worth.
Right.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to touch on your reward system because I'm not personally familiar with it. So if you could explain that to our viewers, because obviously rewards help a lot with us making these big purchases, especially with like these clone speeders that are $600. So how does your reward system work?
Well, it's basically the same. You buy stuff, you get points, right? So the important part that there's 3 important parts that are different than Sideshow. I just say Sideshow because people kind of know, but any other place too. I think one, the points are not limited to certain things. You can use it for anything you want.
That's a huge plus. That's a huge
pre-orders.
Plus.
Anything. I don't care if it's there. I don't care if it's aftermarket. It's worth a lot more than that. Buy it. Get it out of my store. Right. Yeah. 2, you get them right away. So you don't have to wait for it to ship and
then 40 days after that. Right. Yeah.
You get it right away. And 3, it never expires. It never ever expires. We kept that there. And I know Sideshow changed their policy to expire, but they have. I understand why. They do it, but that's what it is. Now, the downside to our reward points is that you only get them if you pay for something on the website in full.
Okay. Because
the discounts are so low, there's a certain percentage point I have to keep. There's a lot of contractual integrity things that I have to keep in check to follow the rules that these companies give me. So it's a balancing act.
That's fair. I will say I also like to see when companies do referral programs because obviously it not only helps you out, but it helps a business grow. Is there a limit to how many referrals you can get in a month, or is it kind of unlimited like everything else?
You know what? I've never seen that work. I've never seen anybody do it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it, so I
funny.
can't answer that.
Well, hey guys, you heard it here first. He has a referral system. If you got a lot of friends, send them over to the website, because apparently we don't know what the limits are.
I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something that you don't like, and I'll change it. I have no idea.
Connor's gonna test that out right after here.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit up all my buddies, man. I'm gonna see how much I can get out of you.
Yeah, please let me know.
Yeah, for sure. Core says, I've only ever bought from Sideshow or traded with Connor. I guess he's talking about me and others. I'm excited to learn more about your site. Yeah, guys, like I said, I've never personally purchased from CollectorZown. I've heard about it from watching all these other YouTubers, because obviously Marcos has partnered with a lot of great YouTubers and content creators. So this is all news to me, but the more I hear, the more excited I get. Kumar says, a lot of people really underestimate shipping prices. For instance, shipping a Hot Toys, I guess it means a Hot Toys figure, from Asia to the UK increased by 30% in the last year and a half. Yeah, and I'm sure you guys that buy from Sideshow, you have seen that their shipping prices have once again increased. And like for me, I'm on the East Coast, so shipping from the West Coast to the East Coast from Sideshow for me is like $20 per figure. And then if you want your figure double box and you want it protected, you got to pay more money for that. So
yeah,
and that, I guess we can segue into that. Go ahead, say what you want to say, and then
I was just gonna say they went on that taxing too, like taxing where they're at instead of taxing your location. Because my percentage is different from California.
Right,
Yeah,
we're in Maryland. We're at 6%.
Yeah, and they charge you California tax.
Todd says Marcos is the bee's knees, true collector for the collectors.
Yeah,
I agree, man. I've only ever heard good things. But what I was going to ask you, Marcos, kind of segueing into the double boxing thing, is that a service that you offer? And if so, do you charge for it, or do you just kind of ship normally like everyone else does?
I ship normally, well, double normal. Yeah, but some people come up to me, on Messenger, and they say, hey, can you double box it? I'll probably charge them an extra $4 or so, because what you're doing is the dimensions and stuff kind of change a little bit.
And that changes the cost of shipping.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. If it's like a bat pod, I try to tell people, like, hey, there's already 2 boxes to it. Yeah. There's the shipper, and then there's the handle shipper that comes with it. So I'm not going to put a third box on it. You know, I'm not. So, I mean, it'll be fine now.
Block of foam too?
The what now?
Oh, I was saying, isn't it in a block of foam too?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, right. There's certain things. Now, most shippers, there are some Hot Toys back in the day that I'm like, damn, this is a really thin shipper box.
Yeah.
So I'll throw them in boxes. I'll double box them just to do it. But a lot of them really are pretty heavy duty, and I really can't stop like the UPS guy, doing the people's elbow on it. Or I can't
RKO the box. Yeah.
I mean, he's going to destroy it. He's going to destroy it. I mean, it's going to happen. So, but I, knock on wood, haven't had a lot of those issues. But there are certain areas, some UPS routes and FedEx routes are private owned, right? So so going to Yukon might be like, okay, this is easy peasy, everything's done. But going to Chris, it's like, everything comes destroyed. Yeah. So okay, then I'll change it up. But that's part of why this company's different. It's a more personal thing. I'll start learning. Like, I get to talk to everybody. Like Todd, I know Todd. Todd's a fool. He's really good. But I'll get to know people, and then I'll start getting to know what works, what doesn't work, and what you want changed on a personal level, and then everything's kind of fixed. We get no complaints.
And you know what? That alone separates you automatically from everybody else. Like when I was looking for that C3PO and you reached out to me and not only just talked to me, but not as a business person, as an actual person, like trying to help me. You have no idea, dude. That's above and beyond, and right there gained my business.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, and it wasn't even, it was other people trying to help you as well. There were a couple of Cantina members that said, hey, this guy needs something. Yeah. And they're like, hey, go get it. I'm like, okay, cool, I got you. And then I went to go help you. So, yeah, I'm glad I could find it. It was awesome. So, helped you out.
I can give you guys a perfect example along the same lines of what we're talking about. So, I did not have any conversations with Marcos prior to just joining his Facebook group yesterday. Chris conversed with him prior to the stream and asked him to come on with us. So I just joined as someone who Marcos didn't even know. and he sent me a message immediately when I joined his group and welcomed me and was asking me if I needed anything. So that's the type of experience you get from a company like CollectorZown that you won't get with a lot of these bigger companies that have a ton of employees and they just kind of want to get you in and out and sell you something. So I could definitely respect that, and I think a lot of collectors would really appreciate an experience like that. So it's just more and more pointing me in your direction, taking me away from Sideshow. Now, segueing off of that, a big thing for a lot of collectors is obviously customer service after you receive your product. How do you handle replacement parts for Hot Toys figures? Because obviously there's been a lot of QC issues lately with a lot of figures just because they're pumping them out so fast. So how do you handle that process?
Perfect. Awesome question, dude. And let's not, we always go back to Sideshow. Let's go to other companies like Iron Studio. If Iron Studio, I got, sorry, I'm reading my, Antonio, what's up, dude? Sorry. I know these people, they're cool. So let's say Iron Studio, okay? I got a Back to the Future, it's a 110 scale statue, and they had the plaque where it says Back to the Future 3, and it was backwards, and I was like, well, shoot. So all I have to do is call them, and I'll put in a replacement order. They'll send me a new one. They'll ship it out. I had people with Quicksilver statues from Iron Studio. Very good company of replacements. I just talk to them directly because we have accounts. Another difference between us and a lot of other places is we have direct accounts with these authorized places. Like Prime One, I talk to Prime One.
Okay.
Iron Studio, I talk to Iron Studio. I talk to them directly. So with them, they just send you a label, you pack it up, go, and we handle it because we're authorized dealers. Anybody on eBay, third party, even comic shops sometimes, especially Hong Kong flippers, won't have that served. They can't do that.
No.
They're taking it out of their pocket. But we do that. So that's a good example for Iron Studio. Prime One, yes, you can get a replacement. Good luck with it because it takes forever and a day. I'm working on one now still. Now to Sideshow, I'm having 2 or 3 issues with the R2 from Sideshow. A little bit of hatches on the top don't work, stuff like that. A little bit of plastic and stuff. However, so if anybody knows this, Sideshow is having the same problem as the rest of the world, short on staff. Okay, so I have replacements. So what happens? Let's say, Connor, you have an R2. You're like, this thing is busted. This thing's not working. This thing's not working. What are you gonna do? What can you do for me? I'm like, yep, I do the type up. It has to go through me. I type it up. I go to my rep. My rep starts working on it. The problem is they're short, big time. So I have replacement orders from May 28th right now, and it's June 16th. So I'm waiting for a couple of R2s, another issue with the magnet, this and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it goes back and forth, but we handle it. We handle it. And if sometimes like the Grievous, like the General Grievous stuff, wow, that was just rare, but it was just really bad. I don't get into it. I just say,
I own him, and I could tell you he's bad.
Okay. All right. So he had a lot of issues.
I'll say it.
So a lot of people who bought Grievuses from us got at least $100 or $50 in like store credit or refunds or a new figure or something like that. That was a hit with us, but that's part of the company. That's part of the business. Sometimes you're going to get hit like that. So Sideshow couldn't do anything about it at certain times. They're like, we're not going to do anything about that, or we'll handle it internally. Hey, I'll give you $20. Hey, I'll give you $30 if it's okay with you. You can say no, yes. We'll negotiate. You know what I'm saying? So you're never left in the dust of saying, tough shit. I don't care.
Right.
We don't do that. Yeah, we don't. You just can't do that in this game. So I hope that answered the question. So that's what we do replacements.
Yeah, for the most part. So just one more tidbit to that same question. Sure. So say, like, for example, my Luke Skywalker, Snowspeeder Luke Skywalker that I got recently, his helmet had paint chipping on it. So if I reach out to you and I said, hey, this helmet has paint chipping, would you require me to send the helmet and then you open the RMA for the part? Is that how you kind of work the process? Or
no, you keep the helmet for now.
Okay.
What happened? We used to just let you keep the parts, okay? However, there are a lot of people in the community that will just say it's damaged to get a free and sell the sculpts and sell the pieces and sell the other. That's not cool, okay?
Yeah.
So with Sideshow, declared on us, and didn't have to do this. Sideshow, let me be, for anybody, they're probably gonna piss people off, but Sideshow is a really good company, really good company when it comes to customer service and replacement parts.
Yeah.
They're just good, okay, and they do treat us well, okay.
That's good.
When it comes to that, but we've made a contract that says if you have that Luke helmet, hold on to it, Connor. I'm gonna get you a new one, okay. When I get the new one, mail me that back. I mail you the new one.
That's fair.
Yeah, so that's how it works. That's how it became.
That's safe. I prefer it that way because, like you said, I know stories from my brother. Like people take advantage of that, and literally, I get it one time. If it happens that way by accident, but when you start taking advantage, that's where it's like it kind of ruins it for other collectors because then you'll do it so much, and eventually they'll just stop, trying to reaching out like that.
Yeah, and it stopped a lot. You can tell because when I message somebody saying, "Hey, I got your new part. Just return it." Hey, just return it, and they don't message me back, and they're like, "I was just kidding. I'll keep it." It's like, dude, I just paid.
Yeah.
It's not like I get it. It's not exactly free. I pay for the shipping.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, dude. All right, don't try not to do that. I get it.
Yeah, guys. Just if you have a legitimate concern, then you could write in. Excuse me. Then you could write in for a part, but don't be that guy. Don't be reaching out to get free stuff and take advantage of people like that. I think you're right, though. It's so weird how you see like all these people selling like bodies from clone troopers and stuff on Facebook with the feet and everything missing, and they got that as a replacement body from Sideshow or somewhere else, and they sold it just to make money. So don't be that guy.
Right.
If you do get to keep parts, either gift it to someone else who maybe needs that part, because you see people looking for accessories all the time, or maybe use it for another project. Don't go around selling stuff that you got to keep because you got a replacement for it. Clone Trooper said, abusing replacement policy raises prices for everyone. Yeah, I'm sure that's part of it. I mean, obviously there's a lot more that goes into the higher prices right now, but I'm sure that's part of it for sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that you guys don't know.
Oh, I'm sure.
That goes through contractual agreements. There's a lot of things. So, yeah. I mean, it doesn't kill me that happens. It's just you kind of notice it, and I just want everybody to kind of be aware of it. Just be careful, by doing it. That's all.
Yeah. So, I see you have a lot of pre-orders sold out here, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to get an idea of like what does sold out mean for you? Do you have like a time frame that you keep it up, or do you cut it off at a certain number of pre-orders?
Man, that's good questions, dude. Good questions.
I'm coming up
very
with
good question. So let me try to say this without trying to be political and not get in trouble. So yeah, one of the biggest complaints we have is we sell out pretty fast, which we still do. Okay, we do sell out, and that's because of whatever reason. However, Sideshow knows this, and you're focusing on Hot Toys because that's your Hot Toy hotline. So okay, so Hot Toys, yes, they cap us. I still remember that phone call. I remember a phone call from Sideshow going, "We're gonna have to cap you. We're gonna have to."
Wow.
So they cap us on units, and you would think they want us to push units, but that's not how the business works. It doesn't work that way. Okay, they make a lot more money if you buy from Sideshow, and it's their right. I will. Sideshow is the king of the castle. Okay, and they earned it. Okay, I will. Yeah. The haters are gonna hate me. I get it. But they earned it. They pay their dues. They pay their licenses. They pay millions upon millions of dollars a year to have these toys. So whatever rule they give us, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, we got you. So yes, we do get capped. So sometimes they throw us a bone. Sometimes, so like we can't have like Toy Fair exclusives. They won't give us stuff like that. But then all of a sudden they'll email me and say, "We got the armor for you. We got this, and we got this, and we got this, and we got this for you. We got all the exclusives. You can take as many as you want, but you can't put it online." Okay.
Oh, really?
We got to put it in the store. Yeah.
Because they don't want competition for their exclusives online. That makes sense.
You're right. So then they'll throw us a bone saying, "Well, your allocations are X amount, but we're going to give you 6 more, and we're going to put you on a waiting list for this and that." So when you see sold out on these, yeah, you're basically sold out. Okay. Sometimes we get a cancellation. Or we get extra ones, but you will only see that first come, first serve in the Facebook group.
Ah,
that's who
very
gets
nice.
it
So
first. 'Cause
join the Facebook group, guys, if you're not in there.
Yeah, Facebook group is key. Is a really huge deal for you to get, like, all of a sudden, hey, I got 3 more Jessies. Hey, I got 2 more DeLoreans, and then they sell out like that. People are paying attention.
Is it like a thing where you put it up and people comment on the post to kind of?
No, they'll just go right to the website. People just
right
kind of they just kind of conditioned to understand, you know, codes, and we're known for codes, discount codes, and we're known for just like the cantina. Those are the 2 main things. The Facebook group is, we're gonna hit what, 4,300. 4,300 is just the members we have on Facebook. I have people on the phone, Instagram, and my other group has 28,000 people. So, so
what is your other group?
It's just a regular business page.
Just your business page. Okay.
CollectorZown Cantina is more of the, buddy, everything. There it is. Antonio got it.
So guys, if you're looking to join, Antonio helped us out. Collector's Own Cantina on Facebook is the group if you want to join.
He knows it well. Because he's probably sitting at work going, that son of a, he just dropped it. He runs to the website and he grabs it, and he knows how to use his codes, and he knows how to use his reward codes. There's a little bit of a learning curve here, but once you get it, you realize, damn, this is, I'm saving X amount of money all the time, and I get rewarded for it. We run this company, Connor, like you said, it's different. It's a company who gives I care about my members.
Right.
So so you invest your time with me, you get it right back. So it's a big partnership. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's I was gonna add one more thing. Because of that cap, do they ever plan on increasing it maybe for the future? That's something you don't know, because it's like I went on there and I'm like, well, because I got this guy, I was like, well, let me see about Hot Toys now, and looking up some of the stuff that I've been interested in. And instead of Sideshow, I was like, well, that's sold out. And I was like, well, dang, that's sold out. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. I'm sorry. It just happens. But okay, so the reason here's a couple of, you're going to get some of the inside scoop, okay? Ooh. If it's still on the website, it's because the possibility of it popping up somewhere, okay?
Yeah.
I may get some extra ones, and all of a sudden, boom, it's still there. If it's gone from there, like say I got Golden Armor Wonder Woman Deluxe or something, it's pretty much gone.
Right, no chance.
But if it's up there, like I might have an extra Shore Trooper or Command Shore Trooper. I know I do. So that's another thing I do. I have I take some allocations on the side and give it to the locals. Because if I put everything online, there will never be a hot toy.
Yeah, they'll never have a chance.
Location, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes if it's sitting there for long enough, I go, you know what? I'm going to throw it online.
Yeah.
And then people grab it. So if it's on the website, yes. 2, just because it's not up there, you can always ask me. It might be.
There you are, Lane.
Yep, I literally walked in the door 1.5 minutes ago. I literally got caught for an hour and a half in a terrible traffic accident. Was on the highway where I was going home.
Well, that's all right.
And I got well, I mean, it had already happened, but I didn't have my. It was right on the normal trek I used to go home, and I didn't have my navigation or anything like that. So I ran smack into it. So as what happened to me actually last week, I had the same thing going to work in the morning. I made the wrong decision on the route, and I sat in the same spot for 35, 40 minutes before I could go off like an off street to go around it. And then I was able to shot put it here. Unfortunately, it was within the first 3 miles of when I left work where I got caught in it. So I was not mucking around, and I was having to pay attention to kind of what was going on. So I could not send any responses or anything. And I was trying to get some stuff set up for the unboxing too. So yeah, my glory is here now, so everyone may bask in it.
Yeah,
the famous Lane Kramer.
And, the great one has arrived. Oh, mighty Marcos, please, may you continue on about the great powerful CollectorZown. Our wonderful esteemed guest for the evening. And then, of course, we've got those 2 other guys in the upper corner.
Yeah, we're schmucks compared to him.
Yeah.
What was I going to ask you? I had a thought.
I took it away.
Lane came here and made me lose it.
About pre-orders or what was it?
It was regarding pre-orders.
Yeah.
Oh, so how soon after a figure is announced, like the prototype photos go up, how soon after that are you able to put up your pre-orders?
Oh, for you mean like
right? So they
say Hot Toys in the middle of the
right.
night drop something.
Exactly.
It's whenever Sideshow puts it on their wholesale portal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's whenever they do it. Sometimes I'm sure it depends on the employee doing it too. Sometimes you can do it fast. Sometimes, a lot of times, normally, if it doesn't go up in the afternoon, remember they're Pacific time. So
right.
Back in the day, it used to be 3:00 p.m. Eastern time is when everything new used to drop in Sideshow. But now they're dropping it earlier, maybe 1:00 sometimes, 12:00 sometimes. I know the War Machine that just dropped was 9:00 in the morning, so that means it's 6:00 over there. So I was like, okay, throw it right back up there, and then it disappeared again, and then it popped up again. It's really weird. So I sometimes have to call and say, is it sure? Do we got it? Do we not have it? Yeah, but it's whatever Sideshow tells me to do it. I can't do it any earlier. I don't have the price, and I wouldn't do it anyways because it has to be embargoed. So
makes sense. I imagine they probably take care of themselves first. They put their post up, and then
which is fair.
Which makes sense. Fair. Yeah, for sure. Lane, since you since you just got in here, do you have any specific questions for Marcos? I know you're the question guy. Come on. We can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
Well, that's because my thoughts were so profound. I didn't want to overload anybody's brain.
Fair.
So normally, Marcos, I guess how do you normally? Because I noticed your pricings and stuff sometimes a little bit more than the usual average listing. Do you include shipping and stuff like that? Do you have shipping all that already included when you post something?
Yeah, we talked about it already. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's included.
Pay attention, Lane. You're supposed to be watching while you're in traffic.
I've talked to Lane before. I'm not sure if you remember, but I've talked to you before.
Yeah.
On Messenger. So.
Yeah, no, it's been so for you, like, how do you, I guess you may have already talked about this, but when you're looking at, like, say we're looking at some of the pre-orders and stuff you have now and everything up, like, how do you usually determine how many you're going to order from a Hot Toy? Does it depend on the property, like or just in general, maybe 6 scale, maybe not even just always Hot Toys, but also you could look at 3.0 or Asthma or, whatever. Do you go based a lot on what the property is that you're looking at, the character? Do you get it from how many people you have who are regular customers who send you emails saying, hey, bro, do you have this one available? And like just the response you get from it, or like how do you kind of do that normally?
Well, that depends. That's a good question. It depends on the company. Hot Toys, like where I was telling Connor and Chris and everybody that they cap you. Sideshow caps you because they're the North American, distributors, right? So, and they don't want any other company outselling them. That's basically it. They don't want, I remember I got capped after I was neck and neck with them with Captain Rex. I would sell them, they sell them, I sell them, I sell them, back and forth. I was like, I want more. Then they call you and say, the hell are you doing? It's like, well, there's a lot of members, and members want the Captain Rex. Mm-hmm. Well, you're capped. Okay. That's the way it goes. But so Hot Toys is different. 3.0, you can always go directly through 3.0 as a distributor, but it's cheaper to go to Sideshow, really. Sideshow has really good shipping because they have their own freights and stuff. So
yeah.
So 3.0, I can always go back sometimes and get more allocations. So it just depends on demand and stuff like that. When people request stuff, Power Ranger sets, stuff like that. Then you have Blizzway, which has the Ecto, the Ecto one, Afterlife one. I sold, I don't even know how many. And then
many wallets came to deck CollectorZown to die.
Yeah, people come. Yeah, so they bought a lot of Blizzway ones, and I can still get more, I think, but I'm down to like maybe 1 or 2. Do I want to get more? I won't do it unless somebody comes up to me and says I want it. There's a certain point in time that if you don't get it, I'm not going to reorder. I move on to the next one, and then you're kind of out of gas. You got to go through whatever, aftermarket or somebody else. which is fine. But that's for 3.0. That's for Blizzway. If that's for the 1.6 stuff, like Asmus toys, I don't really touch anymore. Really, to be honest with you, once in a while. Just a lot of people don't care for them in my realm. Other forums and other companies might say this is my Asmus portal, but for me, not really. So stuff like that.
You know where your bread and butter is at this point.
It just kind of it just goes statistically, but it'll change, because growth is 10% a month. So I'll get more and more members, and then they understand once you figure it out. It's like, okay, CollectorZown is a different option. It's a different option, and it's a little bit different than most places. Then okay, I can buy my stuff here. It's super easy. Then I'll start losing. I gained like 2 or 3 more Mezco toy guys. I stopped with Mezco. Really, I was like, I don't want to stop with them. But all of a sudden, I see myself ordering 6 or 8 or 10 of them now, because people want the Mezco toys from us now.
And I have one other question, because this is something I actually did think about, but I was having a look. So I'm going to make sure, because I had written this thing down actually at work today, and I left my little note thing at work that I was going to ask this, of course, because I was too eager to run out the door and come home after 10 hours. So I guess I wanted to, you guys were talking about pre-ordering a little bit. So you may have already touched on this a little bit. Now, have you yourself, you probably, because you've been doing this for a while too. And I'm going to speak primarily with Hot Toys for this, but you could probably apply this to almost any collectible, to statues and everything too. There's kind of, especially with kind of economic issues and stuff that we may see through the next 2 to 3 years that we haven't already had from COVID and other stuff. Have you seen a change in pre-ordering habits from people? Now, I'm saying this while I see sold out for a lot of stuff on the website, but have you seen, there's been a lot of talk, especially in the community, about maybe not pre-ordering so much, waiting till, or pre-ordering, but wait till, it's much closer. Since this takes 1.5 to 2 years to come out, maybe, instead of 1.5 years before, maybe like 3 months before you pre-order whatever the item will be. Has that affected, have you seen that affect at all from what you handle? Has it affected at all, like, your ordering habits for figures? Or are you, like you said, are you considering more like, I'll order, I'm not talking about Bespin Luke. Like Bespin Luke, you're going to think there's going to be a good percentage of people are going to buy that because it's a well-known character and, long known. But maybe I'll just choose one here, like I'm looking at, that came out recently, like those Iron Man figures, where that might be a little bit more niche, where, have you had any effect on your personal ordering? And have you seen a change, at least with your business and stuff, as many people ordering stuff? And then finally, has that affected maybe how many you consider for getting for different figures, since you usually get all of them for the most part if they're available to get? I know that's a lot of things I kind of threw at you.
No, I get it. I understand.
I was trying to give you a couple little layers to it.
Have things changed? Yeah, from whatever. On our end, not really. No, people still order. People still spend money. I haven't seen like, oh man, we lost 20% or something like that. Not with us. We continue to, and there's certain factors why I think so. But Antonio did right. It's all about the codes. We do have a specific system in place that completely different than any other company that I've dealt with, where I've seen that I think enables people to say, you know what, this is just too good. Let's just do it. And it's a safe place too. One of those things I try to keep it, Lane, I try to keep it a 5-star company. It's like we have like the Trustpilot reviews on the website. There are 340 of those, and we try to keep it as 5-star as possible. It has to be just a different experience in collecting. It's always the same cookie cutter stuff. It's always the same thing in my eyes. Okay. So pre-ordered, no, it hasn't changed. People that I know who order, no, I haven't seen it at all. So I don't understand. Like, so, but now how do I determine what to order and stuff? Well, there's certain like, for example, I know we're focusing on Hot Toys, but like Prime 1, people, edition sizes are determined by the opening, right? There's an open. The reason Prime 1 doesn't make 5,000 units like Sideshow is because they can't sell 5,000 units. but they sure would if they could. And that edition size would be 5,000. I guarantee it. It's not like
I think the problem is Sideshow thinks they're going to sometimes spell 4,000 of a statue, and
they will eventually.
By 2050.
Yeah, they'll do it right. Yeah, they'll do it in like whatever. But they have the capital and stuff like that. But I'm saying like Prime One, like Hot Toys has an open window of what you can order. That War Machine, I'm going to put it up to my allocation. If I sell an X amount, I sell an X amount, and I determine from people messaging me and here and there, going, okay, well, I'm gonna order as many of these and then move on to the next one. Yeah, Star Wars is one of those licenses that sells like crazy. You know, you can just order as many as you want and it'll sell. But that's how we determine. There's a lot of things to determine stuff, but yeah, that's how we do it. And it really depends, Lane, on the company. You have to understand the company and what the demand is in your community, because all of us have a certain community. Yeah. As a seller, right? So yeah, I'll know my community does not like that. And also what I like to do is, all right, I hope I don't piss people off in this one. Okay, here we go. Movies. What's up?
Sean, how's it going, man? I like the name.
Oh, is that Sean? Here. Oh, dude.
What's up?
I've talked to Sean too. So,
you know everybody.
Yeah, I try to associate myself with the coolest people. Seriously. You guys are awesome. So
appreciate it.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so while everybody complains about Kenobi or Matrix or this or that, and you think it's because of the stories and this and this and that, one of the byproducts of being who I am and what I do is all I see in these movies like Multiverse of Madness or No Way Home, it's one big commercial to me. It's a commercial.
Well, yeah.
I don't care about this. I love the story, but I realize has nothing to do with the story. So if it's a hit, that determines a lot of what the collectible is going to be. I will never order anything from the Matrix because it bombed.
Huge bomb, huge disappointment for sure.
That's what it was. And I didn't even see the Matrix. I just know how the community reacted to it.
Yeah.
So, and if you notice, there's no Matrix products out there.
Yeah, and Hot Toys even teased Matrix products, and then we never got them.
And that's how it works with the companies. Mm-hmm. So once you realize that, that's what determines the market.
That's something I actually wanted to ask you real quick, because it sounded like you touched on it a little bit, but I want to confirm it. I know you said you only really put stuff on the site that like you're most interested or you like or something like that. But if you have a group of like your group, Facebook group, the Cantina, I guess is what we call them. If they're like, hey, I want this figure, like, and it's like a majority vote, would you put that on the site?
Yeah, absolutely. If I get 6 or 7 people going, I need that, man. Oh, you don't know about that? Oh, that thing's legit. Right. Oh, okay, I didn't know. I'm sorry, you taught me something. Let's go after it. I'll get it for you. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's not like it's my way or the highway. No. I make a lot of mistakes. I'll make a mistake and okay, yeah, just throw it up there. No, for sure.
Very cool. Sean, since you just came in here, I don't know if you're watching or not. Do you have any questions that you would like to ask Marcos before we move on to the Hot Toys teases and announcements? I think he's trying to get his mic working. We can't hear you, Sean. You're pulling a lane. You're pulling a lane, Sean. We can't hear you. Yeah. What was that?
I don't know. That was my awesomeness overwhelming the sound system.
It must be. I'm going to pull up this comment while Sean's fixing his stuff. Brendan Riley said, Marcos, I got to modernize your camera setup. Make you purdy for streams.
Yeah, he's good. He's a cool dude. Very cool dude.
Yeah, no. Marcos, while Sean's trying to get his stuff thing. So the reason I was asking is I appreciate your answer there is because, I'm interested to hear because I heard on another stream I was with another proprietor who runs his own site too last week and stuff, and he kind of echoed certain things that people are still pre-ordering it.
Oh, we can hear you, man.
It's because there's a lot of been. Yep. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Sean.
Sean? All right,
Yeah, I'm
continue
here.
your
I'm trying to
thought,
get
man.
out of
Oh, yeah.
signal.
Oh, you-
Sorry, guys.
Okay, no worries. Just making sure you're good.
There we go. Yeah, okay, Sean, go ahead with your question.
We're putting you on the spot.
Oh, no,
One,
what I was
two-
saying is I've talked to Marcus before and we've been good. Like, I've ordered from him, haven't had any issues. I don't have any questions that I can think of right now. I'm
There
sure
you go,
like 10
firsthand
minutes after the
experience.
stream I will.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. I think I've covered everything I wanted to ask, and I kind of came up with a lot of it on the spot. But yeah, guys, as we're moving on to other things, if you have any questions while Marcos is still on stream with us tonight, definitely feel free to throw questions in chat, and we'll pull them up when we see them. I know everybody can't think of everything at once, especially when everyone else is asking questions, but definitely feel free to ask in chat.
Don't worry, your mind will wander a lot when we're looking at the Iron Man figures.
Ooh.
And all that plastic, the growing black at us. Oh, Marco,
Yo,
real quick before we move on. So the reason I had asked you that question was you might have seen a lot. There's been a lot of I'm sorry, but I wanted to make sure I asked this. You might have noticed there's been a lot of discussion about, nobody should pre-order, or there's no reason to pre-order. That's been a discussion point. I know we've talked about it before and stuff too. But it's interesting to me hear the discussion part of it, but still hearing some of the buying habits of people for some of the recent stuff, even within, the last couple of months and everything. So that's why I wanted to ask you. And I thought that was interesting because you kind of similar thing that I had someone who on a different stream I was on, who was also a retailer, had kind of, echoed similar feeling and stuff. Now people are pre-ordering if they want to get it. Like there hasn't been a slowdown or anything like that, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
sorry.
No, sorry. It's a good question. Very good question.
I had
interrupted Metafly.
I had a thought. No, I had a thought off of what you were saying, and you made me lose it. Lane, just stop talking when I have to think about something. Just stop.
1, 2, 3.
If you have questions too, man, you can find me on Facebook or Messenger.
Yeah,
Just
so
talk to me.
That was you actually just reminded me of something I was going to say earlier. If someone either has a problem or they're interested in purchasing a figure and they have some questions for you, is Facebook Messenger probably the easiest way to get a hold of you, or do you prefer email for business-related inquiries?
God, no. Email,
No
no,
email?
please don't.
Good. You're not an email
Facebook
guy.
Messenger,
Good.
man.
Okay, that's good.
Instant. I'll be there. I'm always online. I'm married to this thing. I got devices all over me. So, yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
been
big
a
plus
blessing
because
to
Facebook
be-
Messenger is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's right though. Literally, it's been a blessing every time. He's right there.
Yeah. I try to, and if I'm not, it drives my wife nuts sometimes. I try to. If I don't get back to you, it's probably because I'm at dinner or something like that. But I'm gonna try to sneak the phone, and
He's there, always watching you all the time.
I'm always watching you. Yeah, I'm watching. I try to watch everybody's live stream, or at least a little bit of it. I'm telling you, I try to be geeking out. I'm trying to be anywhere I can. Jetta Patrol, anywhere, because there's a lot of people in those live streams that I know. I at least support. I support so many YouTubers because I know how hard it is. I don't think people understand how it's a full-time job. So all the content and stuff you guys create, I try to share it and do this and do it. As long as it's positive. If you just forget it. If it's not positive, forget it. But I'm just saying. So I kind of know everybody, and this community is really small. I'll be honest with you. It's not that big.
When you're talking really expensive figures, I guess that's why.
Yeah.
Not everybody it's not for everybody. These figures are expensive, no matter where you buy from. These figures are expensive. So if you don't have the wallet for it, I'll keep saying it because the prices are going to keep going up. Unfortunately, that's just how it is
on everything, man. It's not just it's not the people are like, oh yeah, man, hot toys are out of control. I'm like, gas, food, everything's kind of out of control. I wish it never went up, but it just keeps going up. It's crazy.
Yeah,
sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I did put some of Marcos's links in the description of the video. I completely forgot to put the Facebook group, but CollectorZown Cantina is the Facebook group. Definitely go join that group. It sounds like it's a riot. I haven't gone through it too much because I just joined, but it sounds like if some stuff is sold out, you might have a chance of getting it there. So definitely keep an eye out. Marcos also has a YouTube channel. I don't know how often you post on there. but it seems like you were pretty active on it not long ago.
Yeah, I have
That's
the
another thing.
Yeah, I don't do like reviews. I'm not like those guys. You guys on YouTube, you guys are the experts at that. We just unbox them, and it's different products. So at least you get to see other stuff.
Right.
And then we just like, this is plastic, this is metal, this is what you get. Peace out. It's like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. It's me doing it.
Yeah.
I'm barely half-assing it. Like, here it is. It's cool. But yeah, we do have a YouTube. I mean, it's there. It's not there for like monetization. It's there for
like to show off products you're carrying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's another tool to help collectors, especially in the cantina, go, okay, I saw that piece. I love it. Now I'm gonna buy it. Thanks, dude. That's what we do it for.
And sometimes that's what it takes. Like sometimes these production photos that you see don't do certain pieces
justice.
No, they don't. So yeah, videos definitely help a lot. Anything in hand, because obviously some of these photos are photoshopped and such to where you can't really get a true look of a figure. And we'll see that here in a second when we start talking about that new well, not new anymore, but the recently released comic book Iron Man. It was kind of a similar case with that one. Okay. But also the link to the website, CollectorZown website that we've been looking at here is also in the description. So guys, if you're interested in purchasing anything, definitely set up an account and check out the website. And if you need to reach Marcos, it sounds like Facebook Messenger is the best way to contact him and ask your questions and such. So definitely check all those links out and join the Facebook group, because it sounds like that's your.
If you're in the area too, Connor, anybody's in the area, that's why we have our physical location too. You walk in and everybody's like, they thought from the outside you think it's a comic book shop, but when you walk in and there's 350 statues staring at you, you know? I mean, it's just a crazy place, and it's not behind glass either. I mean, you can walk around and say, okay, I see that statue now, or I see the hot toy. I've taken hot toys out for people. This is what it feels like, and like, holy, it's an experience. That's what we try to do. So
yeah, and when you go to comic shops and such, those are the ones that you tell your friends about. When you walk into a place and they got a bunch of stuff, like that's the type of place you go to. So I know a lot of people, including myself, appreciate that. Thankfully, I do have a place around me that's got a relatively decent variety of things, and that's what impresses me when I go to any sort of collectible or comic shop is variety. So it seems like you have no shortage of that, so it's good to see, because if you're like me, I collect a little bit of everything. I know this is a 6-scale focus channel, but if you guys have watched my Hotline hauls videos, for example, I collect NECA, Funko Pops, Star Wars vintage collection. You can see the vehicles behind me in the back. So going into a comic shop when they collect a variety of things, sometimes you might not have a hot toy I want, but maybe you have a vintage collection. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate a variety when I go into a store. So that's awesome to hear.
Me too. Legos, WWE, Halo, whatever.
Yeah, some of us aren't smart and we don't limit it to just hot toys, as expensive as they are. So it's good when you go into a place and they have some variety. But yeah, I think we're going to move on. Again, guys, if you have any questions while Marcos is still here, I'm sure he won't be here the whole stream because we're going to be here forever with the amount of stuff we have to talk about. But if you have any more questions, definitely throw the questions in the chat. And if it's something that we've already covered and you want clarification, still feel free to ask a question about it. So the first thing we're going to talk about, if you're a Star Wars fan, I'm sure a lot of you people were super hyped for this, including myself. We're finally getting the Cad Bane that everyone has been commenting on Hot Toys posts about ever since this show dropped. Obviously, we kind of lost faith for a Clone Wars Cad Bane, but when he appeared in the show, nonstop people were commenting, like they do with everything, and they want you to reissue the Mark 46. They wanted the Cyborg to come out, so there was an army of people asking for the Cad Bane. So I kind of want to hear from everyone here. What are your thoughts on this? Marcos, I guess for you, you might be excited for this one because I know this is going to be a hot seller. This one kind of sells itself. This is one of those figures that people have been waiting for so long. So I guess we'll kind of go down the line since we have so many people on tonight. Chris, is this one you're picking up? And were you excited for it when you first saw it?
Excited for it, but not picking it up. Excited meaning like I'm excited for other people to get it. I liked him in the show. Definitely liked him in the Clone Wars. However, you already know me collecting 1 through 6 for now. I'm probably gonna do Obi-Wan, a little bit of the sequel stuff, but we try to stay in the main saga. So I appreciate it, but it's not something that would fit in with me.
Okay, fair. Marcos, do you collect Hot Toys anymore? I know you said you're kind of getting out of collecting a little bit. Do you still collect Hot Toys?
Not that I don't collect. I'm in an unusual situation that I unbox everything. Everything comes to me, so it's like I have everything in my store that I have right now, my HQ. I have everything in it. I was like, I've unboxed everything, so I feel like I've had it for a while, and then I move on to the next one. So
right,
it helps with the collecting itch, right? Yeah. So, but for this Cad Bane, it's Cad Bane.
Yeah. You can't really go wrong. It's like one of those figures. You can't go wrong. And for, like I said, for you, I'm sure it's going to sell very well.
Yeah,
and we're definitely going to get it. I don't think this is one of those teases that like Hot Toys shows and then it never comes out. I think this one is a sure bet just because we've only received, one release from Book of Boba Fett, and it was basically a K2SO reissue with a repaint. What was the other one? Which one am I missing? Fennec Shan. Oh, that's right. Fennec Shan was a Book of Boba Fett release, huh?
She's basically probably the Mandalorian one.
I thought, for some reason, I thought she was a Mando release. Interesting.
No, but she is Book of Boba Fett.
So two, but still, that's very lackluster compared to what we typically get.
Yeah, and KX. Well, also, I guess the quarter scale Boba. That's technically Book of Boba Fett.
We don't count quarter scale. Sean, is this one you're getting? I know you're big into troopers, but is this a figure that you're interested in personally?
No, I would get it. I'm curious what it's going to come with, though.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you were interested in like a Denal disguise.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Maybe a kit bash. You can grab a second head sculpt and throw it on there. I think that would be pretty cool.
No, because it wouldn't be the same. Because I think the whole headdress that he wears underneath the hat is going to be sculpted on.
Yeah, that's true. So it probably won't be removable, so it wouldn't work with the armor. Yeah, or you can. Hey, if you get a second head sculpt, I guess you could cut it off if you had the balls to do that. I personally couldn't, but
no, I wouldn't do that.
Me either. It would feel too wrong. But yeah, that's cool that you're picking this one up. I think it'll fit really well with your clones. You could definitely make a cool scene there. Do you have Obi-Wan by chance? Like the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan? You have the OT one.
I have the original.
Yeah, I could see a lot of people having him fighting Obi-Wan based on the Clone Wars scene.
I mean, he could probably fit. He's kind of similar to the Bad Batch version of Cad Bane.
Yeah.
But what I was kind of surprised is he didn't have the ankle attachment for his.
Yeah, I was surprised by that as well. Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious why he's going without that.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying that they would prefer a Clone Wars version, but the point that I made on another stream that I was on is I think that if we did get a Clone Wars version, obviously there would be some minor differences with the outfit, but obviously Hot Toys likes adapting their figures to real life, so I feel like this would probably be close anyway to what we would get from a Clone Wars release, just because they like to make their figures fit together, and I like that Hot Toys does that. Being that I'm a fan of all the animated shows, I'm not one of the people that is really upset when it doesn't look completely animated show accurate. So I think this is definitely the Cad Bane to get, because this might be the only Cad Bane we ever get. And if you're looking for a Cad Bane in your collection, this is going to be the one to get, in my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Go ahead.
Hey, can I add one more thing to that real quick?
Sure, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I don't think this is going to be the only Cad Bane we get, because I think there's too much of a cry for the Clone Wars one versus this one. But I think it would be hilarious if Howard just decides to mess with everyone, and this is a 1/4 scale. And it comes out for quarter scale, and Howard's just sitting in his office laughing at all of us that want this in 1/6.
Oh, yeah,
and
so
if that happens, I would buy it just because Howard shows that he has a sense of humor.
That's true. I would be upset, though. Antonio says, Cad Bane is a must-have for me. Love everything about the character through the animated series. I agree, man. He was definitely one of the standout characters in the animated series, for sure. Go ahead, Lane. You were going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, you must buy now. Quarter scale Boba Fett, to set up your final duel.
I know, man. Can you imagine? You know how mad people would be?
Yeah, you know what? I would be laughing the entire time.
Oh, I'm sure you would. I would be upset because this is a figure that I've been hoping for. But Sean, I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong in this situation. It just seems to me it screams one of those characters that it's kind of a one-off thing. But again, I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see too, because obviously there's going to be differences in the outfit and such. The head sculpt I could see being reused regardless, because Hot Toys loves to do that. I mean, look how many times they've reused the Luke Skywalker sculpt. My thoughts on this, obviously a lot of people were really focused on the gritting teeth expression. My thoughts are I'm hoping that we will see kind of a swap out faceplate like the Ahsoka figure has, the Clone Wars Ahsoka that came out recently. I would love to see that, just because I hate being locked to one expression, because then you kind of have to pose it a certain way. I think we definitely should at least get one relaxed expression on the face and then this one, and I would be perfectly cool with that. More options, the better. Like I always say, Hot Toys doesn't give us enough hands, and they also don't give us enough expressions for our figures. So I would love to see that. But yeah, definitely a cool one, guys. I just wanted to touch on that. I know a million people have talked about this figure. But yeah, Hot Toys did the animated Anakin and Obi-Wan, so why not have the animated Bane? They did the animated Obi-Wan, but where is he? You know what I mean? That's why I kind of am discouraged with the Clone Wars animated, not the clones, of course, because the clones were getting plenty, but like the animated main characters. That's why I'm a little discouraged, because everybody wants that Obi-Wan, and we still haven't seen him. We're hoping like Toy Fair or Summer Showcase brings that figure out of the crypt, is really what I want to call it now, because it's been so long. I mean, the Anakin figure is already shipping, but with basically everybody. So definitely unfortunate we haven't seen that figure yet, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon, guys. I know everyone's really hoping for that to come out. So guys, I know a lot of you have seen this figure, and it's been talked about here and there. This is going to be one of those figures that's not for everybody. Not only because it's a comic book inspired, and we talked about this on Geeking Out yesterday. It's not comic accurate per se. It's an artist's interpretation of a comic inspired Iron Man, essentially. So if you guys are really into the comics, which I don't know too much about the comics compared to a lot of these other guys that are really into them, but I just know looking from pictures that this is not 100% comic accurate. So one, that might draw away the comic accuracy crowd, because you know how people are with accuracy. But also people who collect MCU figures, this probably isn't going to be something for them, because they're looking at purchasing figures to complete their film collection and their show collection. Me personally, I was earlier yesterday when I saw the other two figures that dropped from this line, I was really certain I was going to grab these. And then the more people talked about it and the more people started crapping on them, I kind of took a step back and I'm like, hey, maybe I got a little too excited about these other two. Because the first one, I got to be honest with you, man, the choice from Hot Toys to keep this plastic over the body, I think was a little ridiculous, because they did make some of the parts removable, but not all of them. I think I already know what you guys are going to say, but I just kind of want to get an opinion from the panel. Is this something that you guys are interested in, or is this a complete no? Lane's just shaking his head no.
It's a no for me. I mean, once again, it's one of those things, you know, the art, it's cool. I know there's a lot of comic book fans out there, and a lot of comic book fans that are going to support this. Absolutely. There's a market for it. However, me didn't really go too much in the comics. Basically, not really grew up, but kind of got into watching MCU, and that's actually how I was introduced to Marvel. Besides Spider-Man being younger, that was probably the only thing I did, like comic book, cartoon, TV show thing before the movies. Mm-hmm. And so it's definitely, again, if I had him with my MCU, so it wouldn't fit. So yeah, it's a no, it's a pass.
Marcos, I wanted to ask you, how are these doing for you as far as sales? Like, are these moving pretty regularly, or do you see like lower sales compared to like, say, like the Mark 85 or the Mark 85 Battle Damage?
Yeah, it's because no, they're not going to sell as good as the MCU stuff. It's because there's a wider audience, right? Everybody's how many people have not seen Avengers or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And this is something out of left field, right? Yeah. So it's very specific. I thought I saw somebody take off that plastic you know.
So yeah, so they didn't take it off. I do have a photo of it. They
Okay.
didn't take it off. They actually painted it, but they might as well have taken it off because you honestly can't tell.
Can't
And
tell.
I'm gonna show the picture
Dude,
here in
it
a
looked
second. I'm
good.
glad you brought that up.
It looked good. Yeah, it looks.
Yeah,
There was a
and
lot
that's
of people trying to do that.
Isn't this one die cast too, like the War Machine?
right. So they're all three of these figures from this comic line are all die cast. So it's definitely a shame that they covered up the die cast with plastic because a lot of people are saying they think it cheapens up the look.
I understand why they put plastic on these. It looks
Yeah, so
stupid.
Let me go through a couple photos. So guys, like this gives you a kind of an idea of what everyone's complaining about. In this photo here, the chest piece is taken off because again, some of them are removable. But yeah, I don't understand the decision. I do get that it's some sort of like hardened portion of his armor that he can activate in the comics. That's what I've been told. But why not make that removable? If it's a feature on his armor, that means it's not on all the time, right? So why not make it removable completely? I don't know. As Marco said, he did see someone modify theirs already. And I just want to show you guys, like, if someone can do this in such a short amount of time after they receive the figure, that just tells you kind of, it makes you think like, where was Hot Toys thinking with this? You know what I mean? Because I'm going to pull up this photo here. SXI Kiro 18. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But you can see, guys, I mean, the modification that he did here, this is what everyone was probably hoping for with this figure. It makes such a difference. I think the reason he probably didn't cut it off and he just painted it instead is because it would kind of mess with the proportions a little bit. That's another problem is a lot of people were saying they were going to cut it off, and I probably made that comment once or twice. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, it will mess with the proportions because he's already kind of goofy looking and he's kind of skinny. So I feel like if you just go ahead and cut it off, it's going to look a little weird. So this guy definitely went the right route, and I think he was actually the first one to do this modification. So kudos to him. Maybe he'll get a lot of business. Maybe people will buy this figure and ask him to do a commission because I think this is like the ultimate comic book Iron Man right here. Sean, I know you collect some Marvel. Is this something you're interested in?
So I actually did order this. The only thing from Marvel I collect is Iron Man.
Fair.
And like
What's up, Danny?
few things that I like, and that's it. But I got it because I thought it was just going to be a unique, like a one-time kind of thing, and I like the deluxe display. So that's why I ordered it from a local comic shop here.
Right.
And I was good up to the point of yesterday when I watched Sideshow's video that had the War Machine and then the stealth version. Like I liked the stealth version at first, looking at the pictures, and I was great. And this is like the first time Sideshow did a video where they just, the second time, the first one was Grievous. The second time,
right.
Where they've made me not want to buy something that's like Hot Toys. Just because on the video how the appearance was, and it looked like part of the plastic was already scratched.
Yeah, so there were some
so
YouTubers in Hong Kong that were saying that they had that issue.
Justin's Collections was a little scuffed on one of the panels too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that was another thing people were a bit worried about, is not only that scuffing, but maybe that plastic being such a weird material, or we don't know how it's going to hold up, that it could possibly yellow or dust could get trapped in there. And it just builds up and then just looks crusty and faded over time, and we don't know. So it's got a lot of people questioning, and then the fact that you can't really remove it like the other parts, it makes you think a little bit about buying it.
For sure.
So in I 5 years, we can pull up and find out. You guys can reach out to me in 5 years, and we'll see how it stands.
Right.
Fact.
In 5 years, if I still have it.
Yeah, you would think though that being the company that Hot Toys is of that high caliber, that they would have put that into consideration. So maybe we could get them the benefit of the doubt, especially their pleather sometimes lasts if you take care of it properly, but even that can flake in certain climates. So the same thing with this. Maybe it is a technology that we don't We don't know, and it's not like your typical clear iPhone case or typical plastic that will yellow or do something. So we don't know. We just have to
Or
see.
it could be Hot Toys just pooing out stuff every once in a while, like they do.
Yeah. I think it's funny that they released this one, right? And they were very strategic with this. They finally started shipping these, right? And they know that they were gonna lock this really cool base to this OG Iron Man look. And then I'm sure you guys have already seen these, but then they dropped these. So this one just started shipping. Being able to be picked up in Hong Kong, and now they released 2 more. And of course, when they release 2 more, these guys do not come with that awesome base. So everybody was like, "Oh, the stealth suit's better than the OG. I'm gonna get the stealth suit." But then now you're torn because you're like, "Well, the OG comes with that really cool base." And I was kind of in that situation. Again, the more I look at these and the more I talk about it, I'm like, maybe I won't end up picking these up. I'm still on the fence. I do think they are really cool figures, but there's definitely a lot of misses on these. With that being said, it's hard to say, but I think this stealth suit is the coolest one. The reason I say that is, one, the plastic on the chest being a translucent blue, it blends in a lot better and it kind of looks less cheap. If that's like really the best way I can put it. Brenton, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Danny, I think I briefly touched on your comment, but no worries, man. Happy to have you. I think for me, this one is probably my favorite. Originally, the War Machine was my favorite, but the more I look at it, I'm like, blue's my favorite color, and I think the clear plastic is kind of done the best on this one, and I wish that maybe they would have colored the plastic on the other ones. It would have blended in a little better. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on this one? I know the original stealth suit, I think, was the Mark III. That one didn't sell very well, and a lot of people don't have that one in their collection because it wasn't the best figure. I know a lot of people thought the color was inaccurate, but I don't know. What do you guys think of this one? Do you think this is an improvement over the original?
I don't think the arc reactor looks as good on this one as it does on the original with the paint and stuff.
Yeah, with the red plastic.
The red. Just that's the only thing with this figure. To me, is just the red arc reactor just looks cheap to me with the paint on it, and it might look better. I think that might end up looking better, like in hand and stuff. But in comparison to the original one, I think that's the one part I would say looks better. Now, I will say one thing when you were talking about the base that comes with the deluxe for the other one. After seeing Justin's review of that one, I don't love that base nearly as much as I did when I first was seeing it. I think it actually looks a lot cheaper, like in person. So that said, that might be something I would say if, like, say you like this guy or something like that. Like this is one you're thinking about because you want to get one of the comic Iron Mans. I agree. I think this one looks the best of the 3. I'm really disappointed, honestly, with the War Machine when we get to him after this one. I think that one looks like garbage. Just
you think so?
Yeah, I don't like how it looks. But this one is the neatest looking one. It might be worth it to eventually pick this guy up and maybe track down that base, like secondary, even if you have to pay a little bit for it. I mean, you're going to have 2 years to be able to save up $100 for it, $150. Because I actually think with the way that, all the layouts and all that stuff for, that are make it up and everything, all the, all the information pop-ups and all that stuff that come with it. It actually matches the coloration of this guy a lot more. So if you want to kind of have closer mix and I mean, that's just aesthetically, if you think. But if you rather have the suit kind of match up with everything's around him with a sort of similar coloring and stuff, I think this guy would go with that a lot. Base actually better aesthetically on your shelf.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think either one of them really could work with that base. So if you're able to find that base on the secondary market, it's probably going to be pricey. So at that point, you might want to end up just buying the OG and maybe selling off the figure or something. But
yeah,
definitely a good point. I know you're not picking this one up, Chris, but what do you think of the armor as a whole? Do you think this is one of the better looking ones, or do you prefer another one over this one?
Yeah, I think out of the 3 there, I like this blue one the most. I love that color, the metallic paint. It just looks reflective, and I think it would stand out in somebody's display. Like Lane said about the arc reactor, I don't really care for it either, but it does contrast, against the blue. It makes it pop out a little bit more. So I can see why they probably
that's where I am with it.
But
Yeah.
and then instead of the clear plastic, like it's got a blue tint. I think it looks a lot better on this figure than it does the regular one.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of like the exposed like silverish blue underneath when you pull the
that's
plastic
what I'm
off.
saying.
Yeah, I think that looks really good. But yeah, this one isn't exclusive. A lot of people were asking if it's a Toy Fair or Summer Showcase exclusive. No, it's just a Sideshow exclusive. So this is all pre-Toy Fair. So obviously we have a lot of stuff coming for Toy Fair, and this is all before that. So that makes me think there's a lot of stuff coming. But yeah, definitely a really cool figure. Sean, I know you're getting the OG. Are you going to be picking up either of the other two, or are you just going to stick with the OG since that was your original plan?
It's going to depend on how I feel about it once I get it in hand.
Fair.
And then I'll decide from there. So I'm not going to say yes or no right now.
I'm kind of with you there. I'm
24 hours,
on it.
Like 48 hours ago, I would have been yes. But now I'm kind of questioning it. So once I get it in hand, I'll make that choice.
Me too, man. Me too. Like, trust me, when these two first dropped, I was super hyped. I mean, I was on Nate's stream yesterday, and we were all kind of excited. And then as more people came in sharing their opinions, I'm like, oh, man, maybe I was a little overexcited for these. Antonio, I just scrolled down through the description on Sideshow just to double check. And yes, it does have a light-up arc reactor, so which I would hope so. For the price, I mean, $375. I know it's die-cast, but I'm glad to see that they're not cheaping out on the light up functions, because that's like a staple with most Iron Man figures now. So I know Lane said he wasn't a fan of this one. I actually really like this one. I'm still not a fan of the clear chest piece, but I think because the under paint is a darker color, it doesn't stand out as much as it does with the red. Still not a fan of it, of course, but I personally do really like this War Machine figure. I think this is the one that got me interested in getting all three of them. Again, I'm more on the fence than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I was like sure I was going to get them. Now I'm kind of on the fence, but this is the one that got me interested in this line as a whole, personally, because I'm a big fan of War Machine, and I love the original looks of War Machine because he has the big Gatling gun and such on his shoulder. Obviously, with the later suits that we saw in like Infinity War and Endgame, as the tech increased, everything was kind of streamlined, and I actually prefer the clunkier look, which is why I like the Mark 7 and the Mark 6 so much, the Iron Man armor. So Lane, is this one you think is like a complete fail, or you're just not a fan of some of the aspects of the look? Your mic's muted.
We'll take that as trashed. No comment.
Yeah, exactly. It was so bad.
Exactly. I never like to talk about anything, as you guys know. Like, I don't know why, but just something with the streamlined body and stuff. I think, unfortunately, it's the effect of the MCU movies and stuff on how I view that War Machine should look. I think he looks too tiny. Like, I think he should be a little bit bigger and beefier looking.
Those cheeks, though.
Yeah, dude, those would give Nightwing some pause there for a second.
The secondary America's ass.
Yeah, the Robo ass to the level.
Tight, bell-shaped bottom, thicker than a sneaker.
But so if you put me on and people in chat, I don't want to say like I think this is the totally ugliest figure. I honestly think the original Iron Man is the one that looks the ugliest of these three. Something with the red there translate. I think these two, like they took the prototype and then refined it and made it into something much better for the second and third releases. But if I have to choose for the price point of $375 and having to wait, if they stay on their time frame, that 5 or 6 month time frame that they have them in, if I have to choose between getting this or I can get later this year the Mark 1 MCU from Iron Man 2 reissue of War Machine that is supposed to be coming at some point in probably the next 3 or 4 months, which is the same price as it. Now, admittedly, this is going to be like 3 or 4 or 5 years newer, so definitely maybe some better stuff.
It's funny you say that, Lane, because I have it pulled up right here.
Yeah. See, it's not really fair to compare these two because obviously one's a like 70s, early 80s version of the character, like the design of the thing, where this is 2000 bigger, bulkier. Like it's supposed to be a tank versus the Iron Man, which is the sleeker. You know, it's a moving tank where Iron Man is more of a sleeker attack machine kind of comparison.
Right.
But this guy costs the same amount as that.
And you get a head sculpt and a diorama base.
Yeah. And you don't have to wait 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if this guy is delayed a little bit, he's probably going to be out this year. So at least 6 to 8 months beforehand. The other guy. So for me, now the fact I'm a little biased because I already have this guy paid off pre-order for like a year ago. Not talking about that, but I think this guy seems like, if you're okay with maybe it having some older design work into it, where the other one might have some improvements, and the other one has the plastic. That's the big monkey in the room, is the plastic on it.
True.
This boy's got some interchangeable parts. It's got weathering. It's hard to justify getting the other one and waiting 2 years versus maybe getting this guy. Other than maybe it's not going to take this guy's going to take up a lot of room. Maybe the other guy, depending where you have space-wise, might fit easier. But that would be the only reason why I could see choosing that one over this one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Marcus, are you sold out of this one? I'm sure you probably have been for a while, right?
No, I think I have a couple left of those.
Oh, there you go, guys. So if you're looking for this War Machine, so look, I'm with Lane. This is one, like, to me, it's a very obvious decision. If you're looking at these two and they're the same price point, one, like Lane said, it's gonna be a while before this one comes out. But
2024, maybe you could be looking for that one.
Yeah, I mean, with delays and such, I mean, it's going to be a minute.
The only difference I see between that and that one is if you want a comic book version one.
Well, if you're a big fan of the comics,
right, you got to be a comic book. And I think the plastic's supposed to be his force field, right? It's like this force field around.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not just the plastic for me. I think it's also the joints of the other one and the way it looks, because it's trying to represent a comic book look.
Right.
It looks more toyish and not as expensive or high quality as this guy. And that's pretty much the whole reason why I got into Hot Toys, is that realism anyway. So that's another reason why.
Chris, you have a die-cast Iron Man in your collection?
I do.
Yeah, and then you would know, right? Yeah, so once you have those in your hand, you're like, wow, they're incredible.
Yeah, it's literally like a work of art. It really is.
It's incredible. So,
wouldn't you say, like, let's say if we were looking at this right now, like, let's say these guys were a line of quarter scale statues, like they were actually a statue in a set pose. I think these guys would translate way better into like, or if they were a larger scale comic line statue or something, like, I don't know, Prime One was doing this was a huge ass third scale statue of him in that kind of action pose or something.
Right.
I think that comic version would translate like way better than it does into a hot toy. Like it would probably be really awesome looking. And in comparison maybe to this guy, even though I've seen a statue of this particular War Machine that Sideshow did years ago, and it actually looks really awesome too. Yeah. So
I think the biggest thing for a lot of people is, like Marcos was saying, like if you've owned the die-cast Iron Man figure or War Machine, whatever, you know what you expect from that. You know how it feels in hand, and I think we're gonna see something a little different from these comic book figures, just because it's such a slender body. Me personally, I like the proportions. I think it looks cool. I really do like the proportions. My issue is the force field. I like the option of the force field, but I want it to be an option where you can remove everything.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to discourage anyone. I don't think any of us are trying to discourage anyone from buying these figures, because they're still really nice figures. And like Marco said, if you're a fan of the comics, then it's probably right up your alley. Even though it's not completely comic accurate, this is your chance to get comic-inspired Iron Man figures. And it's options for many different types of collectors. That's what we want. That's what we want to see. So I hate seeing people. Yeah, I hate seeing people go on Facebook and go on these Hot Toys releases for these comic. Just as an example, these comic Iron Man figures, and trashing them and saying, this isn't what we wanted, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, we all want the Obi-Wan figures and such, but they're still, like, in Hong Kong, these figures are going to sell really well.
Yeah, there's a reason they keep doing Iron Man, right? There's a reason.
Iron Man fan, comic book fan.
Yeah, they're going to sell. These will probably be around for a while, like a lot of the Toy Fair ones. They don't.
Right.
For them to buy that stealth suit hot toy, exclusive only to Sideshow. They made a lot of them, So.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a reason why that's the exclusive, right? Because it's really cool looking,
Yeah, it's like a special edition.
Yeah, just
Antonio said,
Yeah.
"Go ahead."
Hey, on the comic concept, also, sometimes a lot of people forget that sometimes Hot Toys is trying to target the older generation,
Yeah,
versus the younger generation to get more people in.
mm-hmm.
Like, for example, there were some people that were in their 50s not collecting Hot Toys until they found out about the Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker, or the Bespin and Leia, and they're like, oh, they do original, and that kind of pulled them in. So sometimes Hot Toys is smart and targets their audience specifically, and I think that's why they went with the comic concept.
Yeah,
is to get the older generation from.
I encourage it. That other people deserve to have what they like and want to collect.
Yeah, so I want to touch on Antonio's comment because he's a perfect example of the type of person that would buy this figure. He said he loves the MCU version, but the comic version is nostalgic for him, and it reminds him of his childhood. So again, that's what Hot Toys is marketing towards. Not only do they love selling Iron Man figures because they sell like hotcakes, but that's the type of customer this figure is for. If you're a fan of the comics, I'm sure you're super excited for these, regardless of whether they have the plastic on them, regardless of whether it's not completely comic accurate. It's still a glimpse of that comic version that you were used to when you were reading these comics when you were younger, or even now if you still read comics. So definitely agree with you there, Antonio. I could see a lot of people buying this, but I do still think it's a niche product. Like Marco said, it is a slow sell, but they're going to sell regardless.
Yeah.
All these Iron Man figures sell.
Connor, you got a bigger audience that knows War Machine from Iron Man 2 than a comic. I didn't read Iron Man comic books, and I was like, okay, I'd rather read The Punisher or whatever,
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's going to sell, here and there eventually. And then, things now, that's why there's a pre-order window, right? So it keeps your allocations. They don't. Back in the day, back in the 80s, we'd produce 5,000 things and wish we could sell them all. Now they do a pre-order and say, well, okay, we only sold X amount, so this is how many we're going to produce, and we made money. Done.
Yeah.
Man,
I know a lot of people like to hate on pre-orders, but that's how it works, guys.
That's how it works. I mean, that's how it works.
Dude, seeing this, I want this so bad.
Me too, man.
I really want this to come out.
This is my favorite look for War Machine, and this is a beautiful figure. I'm so glad because a lot of you know I came into the Marvel game late. Like, I'm in my Star Wars collection room. This is all Star Wars stuff in here. So I had to build a whole separate display in the basement for my Marvel and non-Star Wars stuff, like horror and everything like that. So
see,
for me,
they're part of the problem is where you say, this is my Star Wars room. That's where it's my Star Wars room.
That is part. Yeah,
not my Hot Toys room. Sure. Not even my Hot Toys versus statue room. This is my Star Wars room.
Facts. Yeah, for sure.
Flex.
Guys, I think we've talked enough about the Iron Man figures. I did want to move on to the Vision because it seems like this one kind of got pushed to the wayside with all these new teases and releases. But this figure is incredible. I'd never owned the original, I believe it was Age of Ultron Vision was the last one. But this one, I think the proportions are much improved. I wish I had the photo on hand. I completely forgot. But there's a photo going around on Facebook that has actually the Age of Ultron version and this one next to each other. And they definitely made some big improvements to the proportions on the body. And I think the head sculpt's beautiful. It's very similar to the previous release, but I think with the updated paint apps, it's just a lot more convincing. Obviously, this one is from WandaVision, so although Vision is technically gone at that point, if you've seen WandaVision, you know that this is kind of like a projection of Vision. It's not actually him. But regardless, this is the look of Vision that we see in Endgame, for example. So for me, this is going to be the Vision in my collection since I'm so new to the Marvel collecting game. I'm really excited to get this one. I think he turned out great, and I'm glad to see some improvements over the other one and it not be a direct reissue. Because obviously when you see a figure that's kind of like a 2.0, you want to see some sort of improvements because there is a time gap there where you would hope that the technology with the figures improves. So I'm glad to see this one is a really good release. Chris, is this one that you're picking up I know you're kind of selective with the Marvel stuff. Is Vision a character that you're personally interested in collecting?
Personally, I think I will collect him later on down the line, just because I plan to have that Scarlet Witch from Multiverse of Madness, and I want Vision to be with Wanda. So right after I saw the comparison, what you're talking about of those two, the Ultron version and this one, it's crazy. You would think, even though how long ago that was, of how much of a difference it would be, the proportions, even the neck length on that Ultron one looked weird. And then this one for some reason just blows it out of the water. Proportion wise, like you said, it actually looks like a guy in a suit. The sculpt is a little bit better. Paint's a little bit different, in my opinion. I think it looks better, brings it to life a bit more. And then the only other complaint would be that he doesn't come with a lot. But literally, if you did want him from that Ultron version, you just throw him a third-party Mjolnir or something like that, or give him one from one of your
that would be
Thors,
really cool.
whatever.
Yeah, Mjolnir.
But, yeah, you could. So, yeah, I definitely plan on picking this guy up at some point.
Yeah, I'm right there.
There
with
was actually
you.
only.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say there was only one accessory that this should have came with, and we didn't get it.
The chair, the director's chair.
The chair.
Yeah,
that was the one thing we should have got.
Yeah.
You know what I would like to have seen? I would have liked to have seen like the human version of Vision from WandaVision. I thought that would have been a really cool release. It was a shame we didn't get that.
No, they didn't. Oh.
No, I think there was a third-party one, or maybe it was a custom.
But he was in the suit.
It could have been a custom.
Yeah, well, the third party did one, but it was still this Vision sculpt. It wasn't him without the red.
Then I want this one then.
guys, what we really needed was that Halloween costume Vision, and
that would have been cool. Halloween
WandaVision. Third party. Those were all done by third party.
Yeah, but they all did look so.
I want to touch on Brenton's comment because I always like addressing the possible issues with the materials that Hot Toys uses. Brenton said the creases in this suit during the blogger photos, which you can see here. I pulled up a photo here where you can get an idea of what he's talking about. He said the creases in this suit during the blogger photos Hot Toys release raises a lot of concern for this figure. Yeah, so I've never owned Vision, so I don't personally know if this is similar to like a Spider-Man material. Okay, so yes, if it is similar to a Spider-Man material and it's not like a cloth, there is reason to be concerned because obviously with these suits, because there's so many highly detailed designs on these suits, the way they have to print the design on, it does leave a crease if you leave it in a position over time. Me personally, I tend to go with like basic poses on figures like that because I'm very like OCD about damage on my figures. But guys, if you're not concerned about that, just throw it in whatever pose you want to. I think I wish that I was the type of person that was like, you know what, I'd prefer to have amazing poses and keep my figures in an amazing pose and then worry about the damage later. I catch myself always putting figures in a really basic pose that have possible condition issues like this one. So definitely a really good point, Brenton. It's not going to scare me away from this figure because, again, if you collect Spider-Man, you already know how the suits are, or Superman from the DC line. You already know how the suits are with those figures, so you're used to it. But definitely a good point, and it's something you want to keep in mind if you're worried about leaving a crease or some sort of damage on the suit. I know another problem is, especially with this pose here, if you leave the suit touching itself like that, I've seen people show like the print gets worn off somehow. So it's unfortunate, but it's not completely Hot Toys' fault. You gotta remember, like there's a lot of technology that goes into printing a complex design on a 6-scale suit like this. So there's only so many ways they can do it with the current technology. But I do think they do it the best, though. If you've seen some other like unofficial products, it's a lot worse with them. So Brenton also said it should have come with the twins. Oh yeah, they weren't real. Yeah, man. And it's so crazy how much those twins played into Multiverse of Madness. Lane or Sean, I don't know if you said if this was something you were interested in picking up or not.
I'm sorry, I just got distracted by a second because I was looking at something that makes me wonder, have we truly hit the end of the road where too much stuff is being remade or made as action figures and stuff, then we've got Super 7 is doing Toxic Crusaders figures.
Oh, bro, but man, Toxic Crusader is awesome though. Like, yeah, it's like they are.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to get distracted. I just looked at it and was like, really? Anyway,
yeah.
Before I say anything, might get anybody mad. I am not going to be getting this Vision. I am getting the Wanda from WandaVision. Like, I decided I was going to get her because she's part of a big setup going to do. But I do think I'm actually going to get the White Vision because I actually love how the White Vision looks.
Yeah, man, me too.
The show. So because I'm very much kind of in a buy an MCU villain, excluding the No Way Home spider villains. I don't know why, but I'm very much in a buy like the B grade villain figures from Hot Toys because I'm like, why is this here exactly?
Yeah,
I'm like, how did this actually get greenlit to get made? Because I'm getting the Taskmaster.
Yeah, it's so funny. You buy like all of the obscure figures that a lot of people pass.
Well,
on.
you should see some of the statues I'm thinking about buying. Everybody's like, "Why are you buying that one of this character or something like that?" It's like, I'm thinking of buying the XM King Batman Who Laughs, which someone was like, "Wait, didn't you sell that look only lasted like 2 or 3 issues and the comics and got replaced by, in your words, something really stupid?" And I was like, "Yes," but I think that looks cool. And it's got Ghoulie Batman as the base. And, like, who doesn't want to, scare the hell out of yourself when you get up in the morning?
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, that's another thing. Before we move on, the White Vision also, the Mind Stone lights up on that one.
Oh, yeah, and it doesn't on this one. Yeah. And the thing is, that's technically the real Vision. If you see in the show, that's the body that was recovered after Vision obviously had the stone removed from his head in Infinity War. So that makes it even cooler. Yeah, that makes it even cooler. And I think that Vision's going to pop up later, and it's going to be a very interesting storyline with Wanda because obviously when she finds out because obviously Vision uploaded his memories and everything. When she finds out about that Vision and what went down, it's gonna be interesting, man. So definitely don't sleep on that figure because who knows if he's gonna even be white. Maybe something will happen and he'll get his normal colors back. You never know. But yeah, guys. Also, I just wanted to say before we move on from Vision, I know he doesn't come with a lot, but $250 is a price point you don't really see too often anymore. So
yeah.
Definitely cool to see a figure that's in the cheaper range.
I think the unfortunate thing is that it's just the time frame for this particular figure where this is the production length cycle that Hot Toys can have. I think it's killed the momentum because there's no talk. Even though WandaVision is probably one of the best, maybe the best of the Disney. I don't know if it says a good thing about, or not about the Disney Plus shows, but it's probably at least in the top 3 that they.
I would agree. I would agree.
And I'm not saying it's great or anything like that, but I'm saying of all the shows they put out, I think it's a top 3 show because it's definitely one of the most unique, even if it maybe was a little bit longer than it needed to be necessarily. But I think the problem is for this figure where it could have had some momentum. If even, I don't know, the end of last year, it was still in the same year WandaVision had come out or something, maybe it would have had some momentum. But I think now coming out, maybe in the U.S. in July or to September or something.
Yeah.
It's just, I think you have better chance with the Loki figures or something and those instead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Loki, we still haven't gotten Endgame Loki. I don't know what happened with that figure. I'm not holding my breath anymore for that one.
They're at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, they might as well be. I don't know if you guys remember, like, some people got emails from Sideshow saying that he was supposed to be shipping within the next 10 days, and they were like, just kidding. He's not coming anymore. He's being delayed. I don't know if that happened with you, Marcos, if you got word that figure is going to be coming out soon, and then it was kind of like a fake out for you, but I remember that happening with Sideshow.
Yeah, no, they don't. It doesn't work like that for us.
Oh, okay.
No, they'll tell
Probably
us
for the
when
best.
they're processing, and then they'll give us a certain time.
They want to make sure you have all your money ready to go to send them for the product.
Yeah, we never. Yeah, that's another thing too. We pay for everything. It's not like we can cancel anything. It doesn't work that way. People think it is, but it doesn't work that way. especially for us. If we ask them for 20 units, you better pay for those 20 units. You get black flag pretty quick. And I talked to my sideshow rep today. I mean, there's a lot of shops closing every day too. So
yeah,
they changed a lot of rules. There's a lot. The world has changed a lot of the collecting, which will trickle down to you guys. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I know my LCS likes me is because whenever I have special ordered stuff, usually they're always like, well, you don't have to pay for it for a year and a half. And then usually within 2 months, I paid the whole thing off.
Clone Trooper, that may have been what happened. None of us have an answer for it, unfortunately.
This is a figure I cannot wait for. Like, I really hope this finally comes out soon.
Yeah, so since we're talking about Vision, I figured we briefly bring up this Wanda again, because obviously a lot of people are kind of weighing their decision between this one and the Multiverse of Madness one. Me personally, I'm grabbing both of them, just because I think someone else made a good point. I don't remember whose stream it was on, but you can kind of have like a good and a bad Wanda, because obviously this was Wanda right before she lost her mind in the Multiverse of Madness. So it'd be cool to have both of them, because it is a different look too. They did change up the costume design quite a bit. So definitely a really good companion piece if you're getting that Vision.
Pre-Darkhold.
Yeah, exactly. Pre-Darkhold Wanda. That's what we
even
call
though this one comes with the Darkhold.
Yeah, but this is such a beautiful figure, and it's these Elizabeth Olsen head sculpts that they've done for these two, the Wanda and the Scarlet Witch figure, are super, super nice, and I think it's some of the best work that they've done. And I was glad to see that they offered 2 hair sculpts on the new one. It kind of made me a little jealous that this one didn't come with it, because this was my original Wanda I was gonna get. So to see that the other one came with 2 hair sculpts, I'm like, come on, man, you could have done it for this one. But yeah, definitely a really cool figure. I don't know if you guys, I know, I think Chris, you said Chris got a new kitten. I guess that's his kitten climbing up on his shoulder.
Yeah. He's a super cuddle bug.
Hey, that's how kittens are. And then as they get older, they completely change. I'm sure kids are like that too. I wouldn't know yet, but
our other one, she's my little girl. She's over a year and she's still a cuddle bug. So
that's lucky. They don't
getting
always
lucky
stay like
with
that.
these.
Now, my former cuddlebug, who's like just over 2 years old, decided to try and chomp down on my hands last night when I was asleep.
Yeah, Lane, your cats also destroy your Hot Toys. They knocked over your $800 Dark Side Anakin.
That he's selling.
Yeah, now he's selling them. Sean, I don't think I've ever talked to you about the Scarlet Witch figures. Are you picking up either one of these, this one or the Multiverse of Madness?
Not yet, because I'm undecided, because it's not where I'm collecting.
Fair.
I mean, I have so much ordered. It's
me too, man.
I liked WandaVision, and Scarlet Witch is my daughter's favorite.
So you gotta get it.
Actually, both of my daughters. Yeah, and I have this Civil War version.
Oh, that's a big grail, right?
I'll just wait until, eventually getting a code from Sideshow where maybe I can get it at discount, or if my local comic shop gets it, I might just buy it from there. But right now I'm undecided. It looks good though.
I feel you on that.
But
there's just so much.
And I also don't have a kitten that wants to be cuddled by me either. In case anyone was wondering, because everyone's talking about kittens. I just have dogs.
You just have your cute dogs.
Yeah, we want a dog eventually.
It's awesome. I mean, your cat will lose 15 pounds because the dog's going to chase your cat all the time. And
oh yeah, that's true.
When my dad was growing up, he had a big 23-pound cat that would attack every dog in sight. It liked to abuse that cat of a Doberman Pinscher when he was growing up. That, and it would jump in the toilet bowl for some reason if it was left open. But he had a monster cat. What is that?
So, guys, I know we're not excited for the Cos Babies. No one cares about Cos Babies. We get it. But they're just glorified Funko Pops. Let's be real. And they're expensive. Yeah. But everyone I know could be equally excited for those red lenses, because hopefully that means that the Hot Toys figure will have... Yeah. They're not going to be that red. Absolutely not. But we're all hoping that they're going to be close to this. We've already seen a preview from Star Wars Celebration of the new Vader that's coming out. But everyone, after seeing this this cosplay, we're all really hopeful that he's going to have those red lenses, because obviously it's basically a reissue of the Rogue One Vader. But if they make that slight change, I will be very pleased, because I already have the Rogue One Vader. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that really quick. I know no one cares about cost babies.
Can you
but
believe how many years it's been since we've actually had a Vader? I mean, leaving out the reissue that you had for 40th.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's been a few years since there's been like a Vader, a new or whatever Vader.
Right. Yeah, it's been a minute. This one, I'm really excited for. I've been telling people this is like one of the biggest announcements of the year for me, and it's not going to be for everybody, but Toy Story was a big part of my childhood, and I know a lot of people are big on Toy Story, but for me personally, when I saw this, I absolutely flipped out. Like, I had just hopped off of Nate's stream too. I wish everyone could have seen it live, because I'm still like over the moon about this, because Hot Toys, I'm sure you all know, they rarely give us like obscure releases like this. Like, look how many Disney related releases we've really gotten. We got the Winnie the Pooh pack, the Maleficent figure,
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, which I think Lane owned that at one point and sold it pretty quickly
After
he talked about how excited he was. And then Jack Sparrow. So not many Disney related releases. So not only to see a Disney related release again is amazing, but for it to be Buzz Lightyear in any form, I don't care if it's the toy inspired Tim Allen Buzz Lightyear or not, is super, super exciting. I don't know if this is going to be a one-off or not. I would hope to see Zurg, but I know he's like insanely big compared to Buzz Lightyear in the movie, so I don't think we'll see the Zurg, but you never know. Maybe he has some sort of ability where he can shrink down. Who knows? But regardless, I'm super excited for this. Not tomorrow. I'm going to try to see it in theaters, though, relatively soon, but not going to go tomorrow because I got some stuff to do tomorrow. But yeah, I'm definitely really excited for this figure and for this movie. Who knows how quickly they'll put out this figure. I guess I want to ask you, Marcos, do these one-off type figures usually sell pretty well for you? Like like Johnny Silverhand, for example, from the video game Cyberpunk?
It goes back to that thing we were talking about, right? The movies are commercial. For you, it's a childhood thing. For the rest of the world, when it comes to business, it's a commercial. If it does well, it'll come out. If it doesn't do well, now this is a different circumstance because it's Disney. Yeah. And I always hear this in every live stream about how Hot Toys decided to do this and Hot Toys decided to do that. Hot Toys does not decide a lot of their things. Disney demands.
Disney's involved in a lot of it.
Disney demands. If you want the license, you have a certain amount of things you need to do. Mm-hmm. So they do certain things like the Iron Man origin one. That's something. Yeah. But it's always Iron Man, right? So but that's all Disney.
That's true.
Everything's Disney, okay? And Disney has there's a Disney office in Hong Kong, and it's right next to Hot Toys. It's right there. Yeah. Okay, and then, so will this do well? Depends on the movie. It depends on the movie. Now, here's another issue too. Why am I going to spend $200, $300 on a Buzz Lightyear when I can get a Hasbro one? That's the common thing.
Yeah.
But for collectors like us, you might like it. Mm-hmm. Some other people might like it, but some people are just like, well, I'd rather spend my money on the Kenobi that's coming out.
That's true.
There's a lot of factors involved, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I think this one has some appeal outside of the movie doing well, just because, again, like there's people like me that are really into Toy Story and like it was a big part of their life. And I think that does raise a good question though. Like, what is it going to take for someone to be like, instead of going out and buying like a pretty decent like $100 Buzz Lightyear that's accurate to the Toy Story movies, where does the collector make the decision? Like, I want to go, because everyone's like, oh, what if this is diecast? Like, if it's diecast, we're looking at $375, because that's like their favorite price point right now for diecast figures that come with a head sculpt. So yeah, I mean, where does the collector differentiate between the two, and where do they make that decision? Like, oh, I want to go buy it. Maybe they have to enjoy the movie. Maybe you're right. I don't know. All I know is for me, this is like an absolute buy, just because I it was just Toy Story was such a big part of my life. But again, I do like to see whether it's Hot Toys making the decision or Disney's being involved, which I do agree. That's a good point. Like Disney is involved in most of these decisions. I mean, look at the sequel trilogy figures. Those didn't sell well at all, and they just kept pumping them out and pumping them out and pumping them out. Oh, he's got Woody's guitar. That's awesome. But yeah, so that's a good point because, I mean, look, perfect example, again, are the sequel trilogy figures. Those sold very poorly because the movies were very poorly received, but I'm sure Disney was like, we want this, we want this, we want this. We want all these figures made, and they had to do it. So very good point.
Which sequel ones you talking about?
All three of the movies, really, because obviously, I mean, Force Awakens not as much because that was different when Force Awakens first came out. Yeah, okay. Star Wars. Sorry, I should have specified. But right. The Star Wars sequel trilogy figures, they didn't sell well. I mean, those figures are still sitting, some of them. I mean, you can go to local comic shops, too, and they're still sitting on shelves.
Connor, why didn't it sell well?
Because people didn't like the movies. That's what I'm saying. That's a very good point. People didn't like the movies.
Yeah,
but Disney made them pump out the figures, yeah.
Right.
For sure. That's a very good point.
Yeah. There's merchandise to it. There's a whole plan for it. There's a reason why the person has a new suit.
Yeah.
It's just crazy the way it goes. It sucks absolutely. The way I think of it that way. It's one of the byproducts of my industry.
Yeah.
But that's what, you have to kind of factor that in as a collector.
Right. Good point. Sean, you don't seem like a Buzz Lightyear guy. Does this figure interest you at all?
I'm kind of curious. I want to see it at first.
Okay.
But I mean, I would buy it just off of watching Toy Story in the past.
Okay.
So I thought Lightyear was cool and everything. I'm just kind of curious what it's going to be like, if it's die cast or not.
Yeah.
If it's like plastic like the old Iron Man's.
That would be very off-putting in my opinion. I'm really hoping it's not because also you can't see much in the photo, but it seems like it would be a similar joint design to an Iron Man figure. So I am hoping that it has some die cast though, because I think it would definitely make it a more premium product. Because I can't see it being very nice if it's all plastic. So I agree. Yeah, we haven't seen much, obviously.
And then I haven't seen the movie yet, but
yeah,
go see it, and then. If it has like all these cool attachments and everything that he does, and then if it comes out and it doesn't have anything, that's going to be disappointing too.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying they wanted him to have that little dog, and I think that'd be a cool accessory. I agree. And Hot Toys likes throwing in stuff like that, so I hope he comes with some stuff.
All I want to see is him in the spaceship box. Like, I would love to see the artwork that Hot Toys does.
Yeah. Yeah, I love when Hot Toys kind of goes above and beyond with the packaging. Like we saw it recently with the Clone Wars Mall. Even though, unfortunately, it was cardboard. But it was a really cool attempt at doing something different with the packaging. So I think they'll do something like that with this, though. Especially they like to go out with the boxes, especially for like obscure releases like this. So definitely really exciting. But I do agree, Sean. I would like to see more about the figure, kind of see how it's comprised. And how the sculpt looks, too. That's a big thing. Obviously, when you're displaying these figures with realistic interpretations of a lot of these characters, I want to see how it would fit my collection. I'm going to buy it regardless, but that is a good realm of thinking when you're looking at purchasing something, is you want to see it in full and kind of see how it would fit in your collection.
Yeah, just to answer your question, that's what it was. I mean, if whoever buys it, good. Buy what you love.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter,
But yeah, again, you raised a very good point. It definitely, Disney has a hand in everything that Hot Toys does, for sure. At least the Disney licenses, absolutely. Guys, we finally got, here's an actual cartoon, an animated inspired figure. We finally got the Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse. It seems like forever, and people have been, this is another one of those figures, people have been commenting on every single Hot Toys post saying, we want to see Miles Morales, we want to see Miles Morales, where's Miles Morales? Well, here's your Miles Morales. I'm not surprised that he doesn't have, a lot of people were commenting on, they were upset that he didn't have the branded Nike shoes, but guys, like, why would Hot Toys spend all that extra money to get the licensing? It at least still has the silhouette. You can't be
Back to the Future.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a lot different though. Like that's such an iconic part of that character, the Nike Air Mags. I feel like
are you going to tell me though at the same time that for a movie that's over 35, 40 years old versus one that's within the last couple of years?
That's what I'm saying. The Nike Air Mags didn't have it. That's what I was saying. Like,
you're saying they didn't have it. I thought you were saying they did have it. I don't own that figure, so I wouldn't know. But Yeah, I'm not surprised, guys. Yeah, if that's a good point though. If they didn't do it with Marty McFly, they're not going to do it with the third Miles Morales that they're releasing. You know, so. But I don't think that really takes away from the look of the figure at all. And also, like, there's plenty of companies that sell 6-scale shoes that break copyright infringement in China. You can get the 6-scale shoes somewhere if you want to get them.
Yep.
But I don't think that takes away much from the figure, personally. I think he looks great.
From 1/6 man, he already bought the shoes for this figure and has just been waiting on the figure.
Right, so there you go. So, and I'm sure he knew, obviously, going into it, that they weren't going to give us the licensed shoes. So you can't really expect that because they're already paying a decent amount for the licensing for these figures. So it makes no sense for them to go ahead and pay another company to license a logo for a shoe. But yeah, I think it turned out great. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the normal suit look. I think the jacket and such add a lot to this figure, with or without the mask. I just think it adds a lot to this figure. So I would personally display him. Not a figure I'm going to be grabbing, but I would personally display him with this jacket. But definitely a really cool character, and this is an example of Hot Toys being capable of doing animated figures very well. I'm sure when people see a figure like this, they get really upset about like Captain Rex and such because they didn't get those animated sculpts. But this is a little different, though. It is a fully animated movie. Not only that, like imagine how weird it would be doing a realistic interpretation of a figure like this. I just feel like Hot Toys has to pick and choose that battle, and I think they made the right decision here.
Maybe so those Gwens will finally start selling.
And also,
he's finally going to be out.
Connor, don't forget it's licensing too.
Yeah,
you have to present what you're going to show, and Disney's going to tell you no.
For sure.
Yes. Mm-hmm. There's that trap again. Like, oh, Hot Toys made the decision. They didn't make the decision. Mm-hmm. They honestly didn't. Disney will tell you what to do.
Yeah,
and then you do it.
For sure.
That's what it is.
And I wonder about the whole licensing thing too. That, like, since you bring that up with the whole Clone Wars and everything else,
mm-hmm.
You know, what if Sideshow had already still had the license?
Have a great night, Antonio.
Clone Wars, and just didn't, you know, has just held on to it, so it prohibits Hot Toys from having it right now. To have the likeness of the facial
for what part?
features
for the likeness of the clone stuff.
Yeah.
Like who?
So
like
that's why they have to go with real life versions.
Are you saying like the animated line that Sideshow's doing? Maybe they've had the license for that for a while. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, because they used to have it for their 1/6 clones. So I'm just wondering if they've still maintained it and just chose not to do anything for several years.
It's possible.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised because they probably know that that's a big money license to have. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put it on the back burner.
Well, Sean, I know what they do is you have to use the license. You just can't hold on to it. You have to get the license, but then you need to make a certain allocation. You need to use it. So they might have lost it, and then and what happens too is Disney will say, okay, you're going to stop this project, and you're going to work on this one. Hence all the delays. So because same thing, the reason they go, you know what, we're going to move the Kenobi. We're moving Kenobi's starting date a week up, a week down is strategic. So Disney will go up to Hot Toys and say, you will stop doing this and you're going to work on this. It happens. That's how it works. Absolutely. Yeah.
If any of you guys were curious on the price point on this Miles, you can get him for $267. Marcos, is this one that you're still carrying, or is he sold out?
Yeah, sold out a long time ago, man.
I'm not surprised by that one. People have been waiting for this one for a long time.
Yeah, the movie was a huge hit. Commercial was a huge hit.
Which is funny. It's so funny how these releases work. Like, there's so much hype at the time when these movies and shows come out, and then you wait over a year to get this stuff. So it's interesting. But that's why pre-orders are a thing, because then these companies can strike while the iron is hot, you know?
Yeah. And even with us, like the pre-order with us, we sell out. A lot of reasons we sell out so fast is the discount.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into all that. But the discounts are so big when we put all these pre-orders out that people are like, I'm getting it now. Because
they swarm,
no matter what Sideshow sends you, no matter what coupon it sends you, you're not going to beat that discount, no matter what local comic book. That's that kind of stuff, so people will take it. And that's why it happens. And all of a sudden, what happens as well too is, let's say they do call me and say I get 6 new Miles Moraleses. It's a different rate now.
Yeah,
you're at a different shipping rate. Inflation went up, the price of that went up.
Yeah, there's a big gap of time there. A lot has happened since then, for sure.
The price went up, and all of a sudden people ask me, why is it $8 more? You'll see when your sideshow bill comes in, or anybody else. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because shipping's going up with them too.
Oh yeah,
I mean it's happening everywhere.
It's over $20 now for sure, easy.
Yeah, for sure. Another big one, guys, that I wanted to talk about that everyone's super excited for right now. Oh, there it is. This one's pretty incredible for many reasons, but one being that they completely changed the trench coat for the Nightmare Batman without telling anybody. We were just finding out about this with the official release photos, because I wanted to show you, kind of go in between the two. Let me pull this over here. So these are the final product photos that we saw this morning. You could see this is not a pleather material like it was before anymore. It's almost like a cloth. I saw some photos on Facebook, and I don't know if I pulled them up or not. I don't think so, but I saw some photos on Facebook, and it is more like a cloth. But these are the photos that we have on Sideshow, for example, and you could see it's still that same crappy pleather trench coat that the original one had, that a lot of people had issues with. So I love to see when companies like Hot Toys improve on things without telling us, and it's kind of like a big surprise when they drop the final product photos. It looks better, and it's gonna survive the test of time more.
Yeah, they probably saw these other third-party companies doing it too, and the scarf and stuff, and was like, "Whoa, shit!"
Now Chris, that does happen. Together. Yeah, that does happen. They do watch the market. Yeah. They absolutely do. I mean. And they're getting better and better and better at it. Before they kind of ignored it, but now they do.
Oh, I didn't realize Sean dropped out.
Yeah, because they know
Sorry about that, Sean. I didn't even realize you dropped out.
Speaking of dropping out, Connor, I do gotta go, guys.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry.
Hey guys, once again, we appreciate you coming on, Marcos. Check out the links to CollectorZown in the description.
Stop plugging me.
Appreciate you.
Check them out. Take care, man.
Absolutely
not. We're gonna plug you some more before we're over.
Whatever, dude. Awesome.
Take care,
show,
man. Have a good one. Appreciate it.
Right.
But anyways, Chris, what were you saying? Back to your point. Sorry.
I was just saying, after Marcos had said that they watch, and it's like that they probably should, just because somebody's definitely going to go and want to pay, a cheaper price for something that they've beat Hot Toys in, and then when Hot Toys, comes in and improves on it and does just as good, people know the quality that they're getting with Hot Toys, and they're like, well, we trust them way more anyway. We were only going third party because they did better in the first place. But now if you're given the same thing, I trust you more. Yeah.
I agree. I think companies like InArt definitely push Hot Toys, have been pushing Hot Toys, and third party as well. Like, because when you see a third party figure, for example, that's $160 and it includes a real leather jacket, and people start talking about that, Hot Toys is going to be like, oh, man, well, we have to do something now because everybody's talking about it. So I definitely think that's a great point. But yeah, this is a huge improvement, guys. This has improved so much to the point where I'm even considering this pack. I don't even like, well, I don't want to say I don't like him. He's just one of my least favorite Batman, Ben Affleck. But this is obviously like one of the coolest Batman looks, in my opinion. Not only that, I'm really interested in the black suit Superman, so I'm definitely considering this now because the coat was a huge turnoff for me, because I already don't like buying figures that have a lot of pleather to begin with, but for a figure that I wasn't huge on because I really only wanted the other half of the pack, it's definitely kind of swayed my opinion a little bit. I might watch this one and see if we get any sales on it before it sells out. Lane, are you interested in this pack at all? I can't remember if you've ever talked about this one.
No, I have not. I got the Bale Batman. That is my main live action Batman. So
Me
I got
too.
the DS19,
and now
Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Good. And well, yeah, I'm even passing on him. I'm getting Dark Knight line because I'm keeping. I've been trying to mostly get rid of Marvel. Even just like 2023 is the year of Star Wars. I'm trying to make except for Moon Knight. I'm trying to make the year of Star Wars as much as I can, Hot Toys wise, because I'm doing more DC. For me, as I'm focusing a lot of my statues are going to be DC characters like Batman his rogues and stuff. So I'm less likely. I mean, I can't. I'm getting the Tumblr, so
Okay.
So that's kind of consuming. I want to say this because I'm not the biggest fan of the Snyder stuff. Like I still can't stand Batman v Superman. Like I've even watched the Ultimate Edition, which I think is better. But that movie killed a lot of the DCEU for me. I so hate that movie so much. That said, I own the Justice League Snyder cut, like the 4-hour version of it, which actually I like, which obviously ties more into.
Yeah, I liked the Snyder cut. That's the only reason I would consider these.
Yeah, it's better. Except still got Amber Heard and Mara. But beside that point, but hey, it made me want a Jared Leto Joker, but like the Nightmare version of him, and I would actually like it.
I wouldn't go that far, me personally.
But I think that both these figures, for the black suit Cavill Superman and the
looks so good, man.
Yeah, I think if you like these characters at all, like if you run a representation of them, but it's maybe not a big statue or something more expensive, that there are collectibles on this, I think you could pick up this 2-pack. And obviously it's not big enough for like a centerpiece necessarily, but these guys together can take up a little bit of real estate. You could have other collectibles around them and do an awesome setup where they're kind of the focal center point with everything else, maybe prints or, CGC graded comics or whatever. Like they can go around that. They're not going to be too big that they overpower everything, but they make a good thing you can have around them, and they'll be probably the best versions you could have.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I was certain that I probably wasn't going to grab this, and I was thinking to myself, like, oh, maybe I can get someone to sell me the black suit Superman, but now I'm like, man, should I just get the whole pack? And that they updated that coat. Sean, are you a fan of the Snyder cut at all? Like, do these figures interest you whatsoever?
Yeah, so I completely have the opposite opinion of Lane for Batman versus Superman. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Lane. I don't hold it against you.
I'm sorry. I don't like Batfleck that much.
Go back in traffic lane.
No, he does run over a lot of people in bat traffic. I give you, because he freaking murders people. But I will say, I just say after this Justice League Snyder cut version of him, where he lightened up a little bit, they rehabilitated him, pulled him back a little bit. I like that version of him. And man, I kind of want that Prime 1 Bat Tank that they've teased twice from the Nightmare and stuff. But
that's probably massive, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's only like 10th scale or something, but it's huge.
Yeah, I'm sure it's got to be. Jeez.
But anyway, that particular movie, I've tried to watch it multiple times and I just turn it off.
It's better than the first Justice League movie. Let's be real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Let's just say of the Snyder movies,
you got to at least give it that.
Yeah. To me, it's Snyderverse, Justice League, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then it's, a way long drop off for the original theatrical cut.
Yeah. But so, Sean, you're basically just saying like you're on the complete opposite side of him. So this pack interests you quite a bit.
So it does interest me. I don't have it on order right now. I'm just waiting. See when it comes in, like how Sideshow's been sending out that 10% discount code.
I could see this ending up on there eventually.
Yeah, I'm just waiting, or I'll wait for, if my local comic shop has them, and then I'm not paying like $30 to $40 for shipping.
Yeah,
because it's a 2-pack.
It's a big box, yeah, for sure.
But I like the box art.
Oh yeah, the box is beautiful.
Base.
Yeah, let me
I like that.
Let's see if I could pull that up.
And I have the original Nightmare Batman.
Oh, you do?
I do, and I don't have pleather issues. I mean, I'm in Utah, so I haven't had any issues with anything that's been pleather, unless I bought something that was secondhand and it had already had pleather issues, and I was aware of it. But that box is awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, this is an absolutely beautiful box. I think it's cool for you though, being that you have the original figure, it's cool that they updated the coat because now they're kind of like two different looks. And like in movies, sometimes with the lighting in different scenes, you can kind of play it that way. Like sometimes the lighting is different in a scene, and maybe the color of the coat looks a little different. So it'll still be cool to have two of them because this is definitely, I think, his best look out of all of these films. I think this is a really strong look for him. So,
well, don't forget though, we got to see how he's going to look maybe in the Flash if that ever comes out.
Well, yeah, who knows what's going to happen with that with Ezra Miller going crazy, man.
Yeah, Ezra the groomer man.
Oh, we're not even gonna get into that, but yeah, I don't know, man. This release really surprised me. This is one that I told myself I wouldn't even consider, and it's funny. It's like after this dropped and I saw that they updated that code, I'm like, screw those comic book Iron Man. I'm taking all the money I was going to put into those, and I'm getting this. That's really where I'm sitting right now. I got to be honest with you. I really dig this release, and like, there's everything. And I love 2-packs, man. I'm one of those people, like, you can give me the same 2 figures that came in a single release, and I just love the 2-pack experience, like unboxing it, how it looks, how we get special packaging for it. I just love it. I'm glad that they include special accessories in the 2-packs most of the time. But yeah, man, this is a winner. This is definitely a winner, and I've seen some in-hand photos of this new coat, and it looks amazing. It really does. I think we have one more thing to show before we start doing our unboxings. Yeah. So this is kind of like a joke. I wanted to show this to you guys because I thought it was really bad. Obviously, not every third party gets things this wrong. But I just wanted to show you this guy because this was a mess, an absolute mess, for many reasons.
He was a mess in the movie, too.
Yeah, and we got the teaser for the Red Guardian from Hot Toys, but unfortunately that never happened, which I was really excited because I'm like, oh, I finally have a figure of David Harbour because I'm a big fan of Stranger Things and such. And I did not like the Hellboy with David Harbour. I wasn't a huge fan of that, so I didn't want a figure from it. I know Lane had that figure at one point.
No, I never owned it.
You never owned it? Oh, did you cancel the pre-order?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I know at some point you were real. So this is real. This is not Hot Toys, of course, but this is a real figure. Like this is
okay.
Comic Sanctorum.
So I thought this was a joke that people have been posting. Like somebody just made it as a joke.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But
that looks that looks like Sean cosplaying as the Red Guardian.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I mean,
Sean's
he's skinnier than me, so I should be like happy, right? You know.
Well, thicker beard.
But man, even with the mask on, it looks bad, man.
I hope no one buys it.
Someone will. If you have the Taskmaster and you're getting Yelena and Black Widow and such from the movie, I could see someone caving and buying this just because they want a Red Guardian in their collection. I wanted a Red Guardian really bad, and I would never buy this. This is a complete waste of money, in my opinion. But yeah, I was right there with you, Sean. I honestly thought it was photoshopped. I really did, and I couldn't find it on any websites. And right before I started up the stream, I saw someone post a link to Comic Sanctorum. I'm like, no way is that real. And unfortunately, it is. It's real, and it's here. And we're not buying it, don't worry. But yeah, I just wanted to show that.
And it's here to haunt your dreams from now on, man.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so guys, if you've been waiting for the unboxings, now is that time. Who wants to go first? I'll go first. Cool.
No, I was going to say, I got a lot of... mine have a lot of accessories. So
I technically have 2, but I'll go first. So guys, I know last stream I was like, I'll definitely do Luke Skywalker. I did open them beforehand because I couldn't wait. This is a figure I was really excited for. I'm still going to show him off, but I didn't put him back in the box because the helmet is such a pain in the ass to put on. So sorry about that. Yeah, it's an absolute pain in the ass. It looks amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's a pain in the ass. So I didn't put them all back in the box, but I will show you the packaging and the accessories and everything. But before we do that, we'll start with the, in my opinion, lesser of the 2 figures, even though I haven't opened it yet. I did unbox the Transport Trooper. This is in that same realm. This is the Assault Tank Commander from Rogue One. This is definitely one I was really excited for. I personally love Rogue One releases. I'm a big fan of that movie. So to see that we got a Rogue One release after that movie has been out for so long was really exciting to me. Honestly, at that point, What was the? We got
Short
this
troop-
one. Yeah,
short
this
trooper
one and the other
squad
short
leader.
troopers. But still, in that group of figures, it was exciting to see more Rogue One releases. I did grab the other. I have the short trooper squad leader as well. But yeah, very basic packaging on this guy. I think Lane, you said you preferred this one over the tank trooper, correct? Or the transport trooper? I think you said you preferred this one.
I like the armor better on this guy, but I think the helmet looks better with the paints and stuff on the other one.
That's fair. We'll see what I think, because I honestly have not even opened this one, so this is going to be my true first impression.
You should just agree with me because we know I'm always right.
I don't know about that, Lane.
Just ask Chris; he'll agree.
Sure. There he is in his plastic prison. He's looking good, though. I got to be honest with you.
He's looking like he went to the same place that all those Jedi did in the Inquisitor base.
Oh, no. Stop it, Lane.
That was one of the ghoulish things I've seen in Star Wars ever.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There you go, guys. I mean, there's definitely not much to him. I'll show you all the accessories. All the very few accessories. He does come with an E11. Not the best weathering I've seen on an E11 from Hot Toys, but still. It's a very standard blaster.
At least they gave him a blaster instead of just the hand blast with the transport guy.
That's true. There is your blaster holding hand and a fist. It seems like every one of these troopers now we're getting fists. I don't know why. The fist makes sense for me with a commander. So it's cool that this one came with it, but like for the transport trooper, I'm like, do we really need a fist? And then you get the same thing for the opposite side, which I do like.
But Din Djarin was throwing punches.
That's true. You could have him have a little boxing match with some.
Doesn't it feel like this guy though should have like a where it does like the two fingers pointing or something, since he's technically a commander level guy?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Again, I always say I would really appreciate more hands with all of these figures because it helps you with doing a lot of different poses. Yeah. So,
well, it's just because most people with troopers are going to do their own Grogu Punch Fest Palooza.
That's true. There's so many Grogus now. You have so many leftover Grogus. Guys, part of the reason why I love Rogue One releases are the bases. Yeah. Not only do you get this amazing art style on the base, and this is a sticker. I never stick them on. I just stick them under the grabber. Very basic stand underneath. You also get a really cool nameplate, which again is different from the normal nameplates that we typically get. Another thing that these Rogue One style bases come with it, you're probably familiar with if you own any of the Rogue One figures. They included them with all of them, so even the older like Vader and Krennic and such, is you get this really cool like under plaque display piece.
I hate those things.
I love them. I think it looks great. I really love these.
Somehow I am not surprised.
Now it would be cool if it was either magnetic, so it kind of stuck on, or if it had like how they put those little keys sometimes where it slides on and locks into the keys. I would prefer that because when you adjust them in your base, this little piece slides all over the place. But you do just get your standard grabber. Nothing special here. But again, I would prefer this over like a waist grabber or a clamp any day. Not that you would see anything like that with this figure, but you get my point. And now the main event. I'll do the Lane special plastic removal. I think his head just fell off. Oh yeah, it did look.
Well, that's a good start.
Either it's not on or it comes off very easily. Oh, it just wasn't on. Okay.
Yeah. Yay packaging.
What'd you say?
I said yay packaging.
Right. Man, my camera's just focusing like crazy lately.
He looks great though. The weathering.
I don't know, man. I'm really digging this one. I thought I would like the transport more. I was sure of it.
No, well, like I said, I think it's the helmet. I think it looks better with the paint.
I do see what you're saying.
I like the weathering.
Yeah, the weathering's great. Let me try to get a closer look.
Yeah.
Very convincing.
I think it's better actually on this one, just slightly, but that's because with the white is also makes it easier to show it.
Oh, it looks like he has the short trooper boots.
Yeah, he does.
Which is definitely cool because they have that little logo on the side, some nice detail. Let me see if I can actually get the plastic off. I'm pulling a Lane here.
Good luck with that, Holmes.
Yeah, I know. That's why I opened my stuff beforehand so I can cut the plastic off, so I don't look like Lane.
Yeah.
There we go. All it took was a little persuasion and a knife. Of course, the second one comes off easy. There we go. See if I can get some good focusing here on the boots. Does it want to? It's just so white the camera doesn't want to pick it up. But yeah, guys, these are the same boots as the Shore Trooper, which I think is cool. I think Lane made that point when I did the Transport Trooper unboxing last week. The Transport obviously has Mud Trooper armor, and this has Shore Trooper armor, which is really cool because it helps differentiate from the two apart from the paint job. I imagine posability is the same. These aren't ratcheted, unfortunately. I'm a big fan of ratcheted joints, so no ratcheted joints.
And one advantage this guy has with the boots is that the shin guards are not on plastic or pleather boots, which are could. I don't see how that Transport Trooper, if you try and pose it, like just having it, not rub against the boots over time.
I agree. I totally agree. Pretty good posability out of the arms. I would say that's kind of good enough for a trooper. And again, you can see the leg can go all the way back. I'm digging it, guys. Let me pull out the Transport so we can kind of get an idea of what they look like next to each other. Give me 1 second.
It looks like he's in the pose going, jumping on one leg going, all hail the Emperor.
That's what
our galactic savior.
Once he gets in my collection, he better be.
Yeah.
So guys, here's the Transport. I just pulled him out of my display. Whoops. I'm going to drop him. I'm going to pull a Lane. Let me move my mic out of the way. There he is. So you can kind of see the differences, especially in the boot area and the upper body armor. Definitely love to have both of them. I'm glad I picked up both of them because they do look different, which I was definitely excited to see that when I opened them up, that they look pretty different. But yeah, really awesome. I'm going to pose him up, so if someone else wants to start unboxing their figure, I'm going to start posing this guy up, and then I'll go back to Luke, because Luke, I'm just kind of showing him off briefly because I already have him posed. So Lane, we're going to make you go next.
Okay. Let's see if I can now.
Did he disappear? Oh, there he is.
He's
trying to see if I... Yep. So, okay. I'm going to have to change up what I was thinking I was going to do here. All right. So, I'll flip
a special Lane unboxing.
Okay. Yep. Magic mode. Wait. What's going on here? Oh. There we go.
That's a beautiful angle, Lane.
All beautiful all
This
the
is
time.
the unboxing of Lane Kramer's special edition.
Yeah, this is where our
Facial
viewers go
features while opening toys.
Yeah. So here we have...
Lane's camera is now pointed downward, away from his face, so you cannot see the full aspect of what we want to see on Lane Kramer today.
No,
Lane, you deserve this, Lane, for comparing him to that ugly figure.
Okay. So here is going to be the Ahsoka Tano Clone Wars version of the figure. Obviously, TMS 021. I have not opened anything with this guy because I wanted this one. If I had waited this dang long and resisted opening this figure, I was going to make sure it was nice and fresh. Minty fresh.
You have more resilience than I do. She did. Got him. Got him.
Okay. So, here we have, first off, Ahsoka. Obviously standard, pretty standard cover. We've got the figure with her wearing her poncho and cover art of figure in a action-esque pose that you probably don't want to leave her in for more than 30 seconds. We've got here, we're going to have also sabers in front, nice, pretty cool looking pose. Then her name, and then also obviously all the warning stuff. I know I'm kind of doing like Justin Light here for showing stuff for the box, but okay. So now we have her. Get a little bit more light now how I wanted to. Okay, there we go. All right, so here we've got obviously the art cover. Very nice action pose. Obviously, these always look really good with pretty much every figure they put out. Her wielding the sabers, and one in each hand.
Yeah, they do a good job on the art inserts always. I'm always very pleased with those.
Yep. So she does. So unlike some of the other ones we've looked at, everything is just in her one level here, which is nice. Actually, what was funny is she was actually on the other day for the $20 coupon that Sideshow puts out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I saw her and the Luke Hoth was on it. I checked back like 3 hours later, and they were both gone.
Yeah, they probably limit the quantities.
Yeah, and so they were going lickety split. Okay,
I'm sure.
So first off, we've got 5 hands for her, and also extra for I guess the lightsaber and stuff, being able to stick it on her side, which I hate those things. We've got I hate those things a lot. Yeah. And then of course we've got both a longer and short saber, and then and then we have a motion one, which this one's surprisingly really hard to see because their lightsabers being kind of white in appearance and stuff, which makes them a little bit harder to actually see.
I agree. It's not a very vibrant blue.
Yeah. So here is her main saber. And then obviously we've got her offhand here.
So what's cool about the sabers, and if you look closely, you'll see it. There's like little snow droplets and such on the sabers, which obviously makes a lot of sense if you've seen the show.
Yeah. One thing I like this is it has partially already attached where you can hook it onto her side, whereas like the Dark Side Anakin, I had to physically attach them and had to go. Oh my god! I hope I don't lose these. So we got the offhand saber here. And then you've got the attachable. Actually, what is nice is for both of them, we've got both of the saber here for the motion. So you can do some pretty cool action poses with her. However, we'll see here that you probably want to be really, really careful when you do that.
Absolutely.
So we've got... unfortunately, this figure is going to be one where it's going to be pretty much. So we've got a thermal detonator, and then we've got also a holocop here, and we've got obviously some of the different holos. I'm not going to pull all of them out here right now, but we've got Anakin, and we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi, Revenge of the Sith version. So they're cool. I don't know if I'm ever actually going to use these because I never do. But this is the thing I think is really cool, the poncho that comes with it. Now, this one's interesting because you're like supposed to take her head off and like stick it up through here the way they have it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a process.
Yeah, you have to pull her head off her body, carefully stick it through, and then like reattach with this on it, then reattach it onto her body, which is kind of weird. Okay, and then I'm going to move her out real quickly. And then we're going to have, obviously, she just comes with a standard base. It's sad. But,
yeah, I wish they would have done a little more for her display base. There were so many different things they could have done.
No, that's all for the Rosario Dawson one. They're going to pull all the extra. And obviously then we've got Ahsoka with her nameplate here. Now, I do remember when this bad boy popped up of her, like how everybody went crazy. Just absolutely nuts for this when it was announced. And this was always the version I was going to get. I know people have maybe canceled in the presuming time because, you know, this is still the animated series version of her, not the live action, which is what, you know, most people are with Hot Toys are aiming for.
Right.
There was never any choice between me, though. I was getting this one. Like, this was the Ahsoka I was going to get because I love the Clone Wars.
Me too.
And I had to get this version of her. Okay, now we're going to play everybody's favorite game, Remove the Plastic off the limbs.
Yeah, like I said, I got lucky with mine. The first one I had to cut, but the second one just slipped right off. Love to see.
Yeah, I actually the tank commander, I got all his stuff off like super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, seeing as I have this figure, I know how tight they taped the plastic on her legs.
Yeah, it's really on here tight, and it's also the boots probably didn't help.
Yeah.
But one thing I can already tell though is that this girl's going to be a little bit of a pain to pose.
Yeah, mine's honestly just straight up and down right now. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I just don't want to risk it.
Yeah, I'm putting her lightsabers like kind of backwards in her hands, and then
that's exactly what I did. Yeah.
Well, because that's a cool pose. I wish people like who have done the Maul in her pose. Wow, they put this in there. Like I just took the hand off before I could even take off the plastic. That's hilarious.
Sometimes I do that on purpose if the plastic won't come off.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Why didn't you switch over to Chris? Well, here. I'm going to show.
How about this? I'll show my. You want me to show my pose for my trooper while you're doing that?
Why I spend a minute here trying to get just all the stupid plastic.
All right, guys. So I did a quick little pose. I'll tweak it later, but I think it's pretty cool. Hold on, if I can pick them up here. So I've got him in like a running pose, and again, I'll tweak it a little bit, make his upper body not as stiff. But yeah, I'm really digging this figure, man. Especially because he has short trooper armor. Like I said, it kind of differentiates it from the other one. It's not just a repaint. And I do think the pants. I remember Lane saying that he thought the clothing was a bit thin on the transport. I do think the pants are nicer on this one. I will say that right off the bat. But yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree with you. That's kind of the same thing as I compared both of them. The transport just, it's a little bit weird to say, but it feels the $10 difference between the figures kind of in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of it too probably went into the paint work because this one has like a considerable amount of weathering. And I don't know, man. I think I might agree with you. I think this one's nicer. Having them next to each other especially put that in perspective. And I thought I would like the transport more. Maybe when I throw a sculpt on the transport, I'll change my mind. But
yeah, no. Hold on. I'm still
get that plastic off, buddy.
Yeah, I just it's fighting me here, bro. I'm having to use my boss cutter, but I'm having to be really careful so I don't run it.
Here, let's put you under pressure.
Yeah. Like, hey, having that up there, I can just tell you how my day went at work. And I'm sure we won't lose only about 60% of our audience.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to hear that, Lane.
Well, you know, it was fun. There was a lot of typing, talking on meetings, being asked why we weren't up to date on some studies, you know, all that fun stuff at my work.
Yeah, I think I'm good on that.
Unfortunately, that's about all I could say that my day was. So that would see how it kind of ran out quick.
All right, fine, Lane. I'll buy you more time. All right. Since Lane is still messing with his plastic, I might as well at least show you the Luke Skywalker and the pose I have him in. I did already have him in my display over here with my snowtroopers. But I'm really digging the pose I have him in too. So that was another reason I didn't want to take him out. But he's just kind of chilling there. He's got the grappling gun in one of his hands. And I will say, I love how the grappling gun fits over here. It's got the little handle on it. Obviously, he aims it with two hands in the movie. But he's just kind of chilling there with it. There's that head sculpt. The head sculpt's great, man. This is a reused head sculpt, of course, but I was not upset about that at all because I think the head sculpt's great. I will say, I'm not a huge fan of the holster on this one. When I stuck the DL44 right here, when I stuck the DL44 in there, it started to like pinch down on the pleather. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. So you definitely got to be careful, guys. Like some holsters, it just doesn't feel right, so I don't put it in there.
I like the helmet on that guy though.
Yeah, the helmet's great. I will say I don't know if this mouthpiece is supposed to be movable. I pulled it out and honestly kind of fell out when I was trying to move it around because it's not like it is bendable, but I was hoping it would have like wire in it, and it doesn't. So I don't know if that's supposed to move. Mine kind of fell out, and I stuck it back in there. This helmet had some paint damage underneath the bottom of it when I got it, so I am getting a replacement for it. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, this is a beautiful figure. I'm not a huge fan of the waist grabber, but I think the reason they did that, and Sean actually has a really cool like dynamic pose that he did with his, is so you can kind of sit him on it and have him shooting the grappling gun. When Sean gets a chance, I want him to show you guys his pose because his pose is really cool. It's a lot more complicated than mine. But yeah, let's pull Sean up here because Sean's got a cooler pose than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
I want to
people
actually
have
put it
done
in the new
that
lighting.
in the air thing.
Oh yeah, there you go.
They've done that in the air, shooting the grappling hook.
Yeah,
I've
Sean
seen
did
it
that,
all.
and I think
It's
it looks
pretty
great.
good.
I might change mine up eventually when I upgrade my displays, but for now I'm just conserving room, you know.
Yeah, Detoffs over here. Hello.
Detoffs.
Yeah, Sean's like, who does those?
Oh, you already zoomed in on me. I didn't even realize that.
Oh yeah, we're putting you on the
Hey,
spot.
bro,
It's
you've been
Lane's
outed.
fault.
Okay,
Blame Lane.
I've got all that stuff off now.
Yeah, we're on Sean's hour now.
Yeah, he looks cool. Well, yeah, John's more cool than me. What can I say?
It's okay. We forgive you.
Yeah, so it's
So is
pretty
the lighting there
impressive that
good?
the stand can balance it. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's impressive that the stand can balance him like that. Oh, so I see. You've got the one leg looped through the waist grabber. That's smart. Do you think the way you have him posed, do you think it's pretty snug, or since the holster's in between, do you think it's pretty snug around there where he doesn't wobble around a lot?
I mean, he was
Yeah, it's pretty
walking
good.
with
I'm
me.
shaking right now.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, man.
So,
I
I've
dig
seen
it.
a lot of people use that swooshing blade too to look like he's swinging up at the.
Oh yeah,
I
like
thought that's pretty cool
uh-huh.
too.
That's cool, man. I dig it. I appreciate you showing us that, Sean. It's a much more dynamic pose than mine. I need to step up my posing game for sure when I have more room.
I want to see somebody actually use that base and like mount it somewhere and then do that.
Bro,
Like,
you know what
hang
I
it
want to
down.
see? I keep saying it. I want to see a Hoth Luke, and for it to include like some sort of kind of like how we had the weather vane with the Bespin Luke. I want like a ceiling diorama piece, so you can have him trapped in the icicle cave, or in the ice cave rather. I would love to see that. Oh, Lane, you actually got some proper lighting.
Okay, so here we've got Ahsoka now. Obviously not in any major pose right now. This is what I'm aiming to try and do. I'm trying to get lighting correctly so that I can have things set where when I'm doing an unboxing or something, do an over top view and then be able to shift it down so I can have a side view when actually you're looking at the figure and stuff.
Right.
I think it'll look better. But not also have my monitor and all this crap right over there. But
Right.
one battle at a time. So here obviously is Ahsoka right now. That you have a better full view of her. I think this is one of the better full views I've had. So
Yeah,
we've got
I
her
agree.
figure here. So we've got, this is the talking point. As you can see, the details for her armor and everything like that, the boots, everything like that are really good. The posability, obviously, good range of motion here. I'd be careful with the material here. So, because I think it looks like it could perhaps have some issues. This is the only thing I have kind of with the figure that has me a little disappointed is the back. Obviously, this is not something you're going to see every bit, but let me see if I can get it. I mean, it might be a little too much light, but you can kind of see where the creases, where the knee joints are in the backside because the material here is so tight on the legs.
I see what you're saying.
However, that's a minor quibble. That's not something. So I love the detail here on the shin guards and the knee pads and everything. The foot, unfortunately, is a little bit limited with its movement because of the shin guards. Obviously, anytime we have armor on these figures, there's usually some kind of issue. Like, let's just it's a thing that happens with them. Now, I love the facial sculpt here. I think it looks very good. Let me see if I don't know if this is going to work so much because I think there we go.
Oh, focus. There you go.
So I really like the facial sculpt. The eyes are a little weird to me. That's the one thing because she does have almost like this Pennywise death stare that she's giving you a little bit. But I love the detail for her montrals here.
Well, doesn't that one have the purse system?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's just saying like the look of the eyes in general. He's not a fan.
Yeah, I don't like them, but they do seem to death stare me, which has me a little bit concerned.
I like it. I think she looks innocent in a way.
Yeah, I love the detail with the gauntlets here. All the hands come with the gauntlet. And then obviously just with the backside here because we all got to see the bum at the end of the day. Now here's going to be the part that stops a lot of the head articulation, which is going to be the back end of her, skull, basically. Mm-hmm. Here, the back part of her skull here. So you're not going to have a lot of head articulation with her. Overall, I think she's definitely going. You can just have her kind of like this and have her lightsaber, and she's going to look fine in your display case. But I think she is very much going to be a display and leave figure.
Yeah,
like you're going to get her into the pose, and then that's it. So real quick here, because I didn't show it earlier. Obviously, here is one of both of the saber hands, and I'll be putting these on here in a minute while I do just a really quick pose with her. I'm going to mess around with her. Actually, I work from home tomorrow. Yay!
There you go.
Now, what is that? Do you guys? I'm not sure. Is this supposed to be this hand? Is this supposed to be her like doing a force attack or something like that?
That looks like a force gesture to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember the episode, the last or the second to last episode when she has to close the door after the two clones first attack her? Rex is like hesitating before he tries 66. And then when she moves the door, she's holding the lightsaber, and those two fingers are closing the doors.
And of course,
spoiler alert, by the way.
Everyday collector, how are you?
And here is the, of course, best accessory, the Grogu hand punch hand.
Everyday?
The Grogu punch hand. Punching through all the decades of Star Wars Grogu's in the head.
Sorry, Lane, I was responding to a message. What goofy joke did you make this time?
I was saying, and then of course, I said there's the best accessory, which is the Grogu punch hand.
Oh my god!
Which goes
I thought that's what you said, Lane.
Punching through all the Grogus throughout the decades, in a galaxy far, far away.
So, in other words, don't let Lane buy any more Grogus.
Well, it's gonna be not stopping that because I got at least Chrome Mando coming. So. Now, one thing that is nice is that the hands come off very easily for this figure. As you know, sometimes the pegging and stuff for some figures, especially troopers, can suck. One thing I don't know if you've had with any of you guys who've gotten Ahsoka, I do have a little concern, is I did notice that like when I took the hands off originally to remove the plastic, is that the gauntlet here did seem to move a little bit with the material underneath. So I'm wondering if that could become an issue. Now, guys, these are just possible could see issues because this is actually a figure I hope a lot of people pick up because I think this is still an awesome figure. But it is definitely one for as much as we want it to be perfect. It's got a lot of pleather on it, man. Like this entire bodysuit, or is this kind of a?
I wouldn't really call that a pleather material. It's more like It's like a Marvel style material, if that makes sense. I don't know who exactly to compare it to. It's like a plasticky material. Still though, with material like that, you have to be careful with leaving imprints and such if you worry about those type of things. But the biggest thing with this figure are those arms. You got to be very careful with those arms. You can't leave them in poses over time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna be this is the biggest sticking point. Now this is, to be fair, this could be a problem with the Rosario Dawson one when it comes out too. It it's assumed because she's got coverings over the elbow. I was like, yeah, so what you're saying is you can pose her like that for 6 months and you won't see the tear. Well, that's a whole lot better. You won't see the tear. All right. So that is going to be one limitation for this figure. If you are a super dynamic poser person, like for Spider-Man, sometimes if you buy Spider-Mans, you may just accept, they're going to get a little messed up and stuff like that at times. All right, so I'm going to take a minute here, and I'm just going to get her into a little lightsaber pose.
All right, we're going to make Chris. Chris, it's your turn, man. You're on the spot. Is he paying attention?
Of course I'm paying attention.
Oh, he's half asleep. He's like, come on, Lane, let me unbox my T1000.
No, I just...
Oh, he's got the cat.
Asleep. Yeah, fell asleep on me while I'm sitting here watching you guys. All right. You gotta move,
Summit says, this is in regards to Ahsoka. Summit says, thankfully her wrist articulation is good enough that you can get some pretty solid poses with minimal to no elbow bend for long periods. That's a very good point. That's the other thing. You can kind of manipulate that figure, Ahsoka, at her shoulders and kind of put her in an action pose without bending the arms. And like Summit said, you can take advantage of the wrist articulation to kind of make the sabers point back how you want them to. So, very good point. All right, Chris, did you want to show your C-3PO first? You're muted. I just wanted to see how long he would talk with that.
No, I was saying I do want to show it, but not the C-3PO because everybody's probably seen
right.
it.
You just want to show the base off.
Yeah. So I did get the base signed by Anthony Daniels himself. And then I got this plaque here from Superhero Displays to go with it.
Display Heroes.
Yep. That
guy. Ooh. The boy is having a battle. But yeah, so Chris and I went to Awesome Con not long ago, and he actually got that signed in person by Anthony Daniels, so that's really cool. It's definitely really special. And good thing Anthony picked a really good spot to sign it. And there was no smudging or anything. Because obviously when you sign plastic like that, there's a chance it'll smudge if the signer's not careful. So it definitely turned out really nice. And I was glad to be able to see that in person. I think he's going to get his box. How are we doing on the pose, Lane? Still working on it?
Yep.
Yeah, Summon, it's really sick, man. You don't see people getting bases signed very often. I feel like when people get Hot Toys signed, it's always the box or the slip cover inside the box. You're muted again.
I know, I was making a lot of noise.
Oh, gotcha. It's such a nice box, man.
I know, I like the reflector. It's a bit scuffed up. This is an older figure. I got it used, so it's not brand new. It wasn't sealed or anything. But I got a really, really good deal on it. And literally
it wasn't sealed in box?
No. And this is like a slip cover that comes up over it. So let me get this off here.
Now, I can't remember. Are there multiple versions of this release, or is it just one release? No special edition or anything?
I only thought it was just this guy. I don't think there was a special, at least that I know of. So then when you get the top off, you can see him in the window there.
Yeah. Summit says, the box and slip cover feels like the worst place to get signed. They don't display well. Base or one of those custom plaques would be my preference. Yeah, I mean, I do see people's point where, like, you can frame the slip cover. It's not something I would personally do, but yeah, I agree.
The plastic still smells good, though, for some reason. Like,
oh, it always does. It doesn't disappoint.
Even for it being this older figure.
Sean, with all those troopers, he probably knows that plastic smell very well. His whole basement probably smells like it.
That's the only reason why I buy it.
I don't blame you. It's like a new car smell. It's like that type of thing.
Yeah. So this guy comes with quite a bit. I'm going to start just going from like top to bottom because it's a lot to go through. So he
Yeah.
comes with 2 outfits. His cop outfit he actually comes in when you get him in the box, and then also the bike version you can change into, and it comes with the helmet. The glasses was the only thing that was missing from this figure when I bought him. So I went on eBay and I was able to find a pair, so that's on the way. So I'll be doing an unboxing of this guy on my channel, and when the glasses come in, I'll put it in the box. I'll cheat a little bit,
and you'll be able to get to see it in better quality and everything too, obviously.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and he comes with this head sculpt that's kind of split.
Yeah,
I think this
and
is
they
really
did.
Cool to have.
I believe it was Sarah Connor. She actually came with an exclusive head for this figure, right? It was the Sarah Connor figure. I don't know if you've seen that. Where it's got like the bullet hole in his face.
The T1000 disguise, where it's like a big giant hole in his face. Yeah. I want that too, but I would use it as more of a Sarah Connor or whatever. And then he's got a whole bunch of bullet holes that magnetize to his body to make it look like he's shot up. Underneath that, when you lift that up, you get 2 of these things that attach, and they got some paint here at the bottom to kind of match his cop outfit. So when you slide them on, they kind of blend in seamlessly, which I think is pretty cool.
Smart.
But it's kind of when he, split the elevator or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly
stuck
what
it
it's
in the
from,
back of it. Yeah, I think that part's cool. You can go, Lane, if you want. We'll come back to me. It's cool.
One more second.
Let him finish up.
Okay, go ahead now.
And then
finish with him.
The long blade that he also uses in the film.
Stabby,
so I like
stabby.
that. Yeah, I like you get all these different options to display him with, and that they actually went throughout the entire movie, and which I don't think you see too often anymore. This I really like. No. I'm probably gonna have him with this hand. It's actually the no, not this one. It's the other one. My bad. That's still a cool hand, but this one, the little yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's a cool moment. It's nice that they included that.
Yeah. And then this, they actually have plastic over, and then I'll let Lane go after this one. Is the whole stabbing in the eye?
I don't know, bro. I'd use that one for sure. That's awesome.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna.
That reminds me. You know what that reminds me of? RoboCop. He comes with the data spike hand, where it's like a bloody spike coming out of his hand. That's what that reminds me of. That's super cool.
And what's crazy is this is actually solid. Like, this thing doesn't bend. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break at all.
Yeah.
And it's sharp too.
We're gonna jump over to Lane real quick, guys, so he can show off his pose, and then we'll go back to Chris's unboxing. That looks good, man.
Ooh, that's nice.
So I guess you bent the elbows just a little bit to do this pose.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch it back afterwards.
Yeah,
I don't want back. Yeah, I don't want to do it where if you're gonna buy one of these figures, you don't try and do it a little bit because I mean, at the end of the day, these are an action figure. I mean, they're not an action figure made to be played with or jiggled around a lot. But there's still a figure meant that you do a little bit with. Even if you're just taking some pictures for it, I know you have to worry. Like, I have the Harley, the Arkham Knight one, which I think is worse than this one, actually, for stuff. But, this is just a kind of her posability and stuff that you can see. I was talking how she was imposing, but I spent 5 minutes, and you know what? If you didn't have to worry about the arms necessarily, like these were jointed arms, you could put her really cool action pose, like her you could have her and Cody behind her or something like that with his blasters crossed or something like on his box. Like that would be really cool.
Absolutely.
But, so this is a figure. It's $240. It's $250. If you like Ahsoka, this is, I think, definitely a figure you should consider. Now, if you're more of a Mandalorian fan, then I would probably say you might want to consider the Rosario Dawson one instead. But you want to keep in mind, it's at least $35 more. I it's a DX, I guess, so it's going to come in a bigger box too that you have to keep track of.
Barely a DX.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've talked about is this here. You can go ahead and cut back to Chris and stuff because this is something we can just talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the Ahsoka Tano? That should be a discussion topic maybe we have in the future.
For sure.
As we're all I see some ears there. Is somebody sitting in on your unboxing there, Chris?
Dude, he won't leave me alone. He keeps jumping up on my lap every time I put him down.
Papa.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm your new daddy, bro.
Yeah, but I think we can say, like, I think it would be nice to have a discussion, and maybe Sean, because he's also collected for a little bit longer too. What do we feel? What do we feel constitute a DX, and has the DX brand been sort of damaged? Like what it means to longtime collectors who would, who might, if they heard they had a deluxe, which is frankly what they are. I already put Ahsoka elbows back into her normal pose.
I would too.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. Oh.
Lane is easily distracted. Ooh,
sorry,
piece of candy.
anyway.
Ooh, piece of candy.
No, but I'm sorry. I own 2 cats, man. What do you expect?
I do too, Lane. That's not an excuse.
Figures are great, but little kittens are eternal.
Yeah.
Summit wants more cat content.
Yeah, this is the new edition. Today he's 14 weeks.
Nice.
Is he 6 scale?
Yeah.
But
no, quarter scale.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully, as much as my edition that I bought 2 years ago, he's not going to become as big. Where mine, when fully grown, is supposed to be somewhere like 19 to 22 pounds.
Lane just wants one of those munchkin cats. He doesn't want them to grow.
With no legs. With no legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we should have a discussion sometime, maybe on like, is the DX
next week?
Kind of
yeah. So I had some questions planned for this stream, and then we kind of changed the direction a little bit. So next week we'll do like more of like a food for thought type stream. We'll still talk about the releases and such, but I have some questions.
There's been a ton of releases too, whether actual releases or just what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen next Wednesday, right? Other than we're gonna get requested more kitten content from Senior Chris.
I agree, Summit.
We're going to have like the Attack of the Clones Wave 2 is going to get announced, and there's going to be 10 Hot Toys in that or something.
Yeah, and then Toy Fair is right around the corner. But yeah, we'll
I hope
discussion topics. Yeah, me too.
Can I unbox my figure now?
Yeah. Put the cat down, Chris.
I keep trying. He keeps jumping up, but I'm gonna work
Just tape him to the wall.
Right.
Tape him to the wall.
Moving on. Here's the cop jacket.
Oh, that's beautiful. I like the material.
Bike. Yeah, I do too. It's got the badge and stuff on it. You get the pants with the stripes on it. Comes with the belt. It's right here. I don't want to get it out because I had to roll it up last night too. But you do get the other
Great
belt.
point, Summit.
Then you get these boots. They feel softer at the top, but it is kind of a sculpted.
So it's like a sculpted boot.
Kind of, rubbery kind of feel towards the top. It's more like flexible.
So that's interesting. He has a whole nother outfit, like boots and everything.
That's what I'm saying.
That's cool, man. You don't see that anymore.
And then I showed you the other head sculpt. You get a pair. And all these, I like that you can put in the belt as well, if I can get it out here. You get a pair of handcuffs.
Are they plastic or die cast?
They feel plastic. Last time
it
we
doesn't
asked
matter.
this
I was just
question,
curious.
Hey, funny story. Last time you asked this question, I broke a statue. So
really?
Don't you remember at Awesome Con?
Oh, oh yeah. So what he's talking about, right? So I think it was it Prime 1? I think it was a Prime 1 Galactus statue, right? And Chris and I were at Awesome Con together, right? So we walk up and I'm like, oh, there was like some Wolverine was on the Prime 1 statue, and I was like, oh, are those claws die cast? And Chris touches the die-cast claw, and it just completely fell off of the statue. I walked away immediately. I immediately left. I was cracking up so hard. His fiance was in the back. She's like, get away from it. Get away from it. And he's sitting there trying to put it back on while these people are watching.
I put it back on though, so I'm pretty sure that's how it was.
No, so what he's saying is he broke it, but he was able to get it to look like it wasn't broken, so he didn't get charged.
So it's good to see you're throwing him under the bus, even if it's years later. Great.
Oh, I mean, he's the one who said where he was. He could have just said we went to a con and I broke it, but now they know who the guy was at Awesome Con that broke the statue.
Get ready, they're coming for you, Chris.
That was a massive statue.
I don't even know if the camera will pick this up at all.
What is that?
A little pen.
Oh, the pen. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's so small. I've never seen a 6-scale pen before.
Yeah, if you get it in hand, you can actually make it. It's a pen, but yeah, it's.
Hey, Stan Lee came with the 1/6 pen.
Oh, that's right, the director chair one, right?
Yep.
The director
The
Stan
chair
Lee?
that
That's
we should have got with Vision. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I actually I really like that figure. I was considering picking it up, but it's just so expensive right now. That Stan Lee.
So then you get his walkie-talkie.
Oh, the details on the front are nice.
Yeah. It doesn't actually. Yeah, it does. It says Icom, like Icom, whatever the name brand for the.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like detailed in there. Then you get the pistol here.
And that has a working slide and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta love that, man. That's just attention to detail. I'm glad they still pay attention
And the
to
hammer,
stuff like that.
Hammer goes back, and then if I can get it out here at the bottom.
Mag.
Yeah. The mag comes out, and you get the little
bullets. Yeah,
Yep.
That's cool, man.
And all this, I like. You can put into his belt, and then he comes with 2 more magazines here.
So kind of like John Wick too. John Wick has that, and I actually have. That's how I have my John Wick pose with him loading a mag.
All these you can load into his belt. He looks like an actual cop, and then you got his flashlight here. Oh wow! I didn't even look at this. You'll see in my YouTube video. I'll try to get it clear, but this is a sculpted like clear plastic, and you can see in there, so it looks like a real flashlight with a real bulb in there. It's not just painted.
Yeah, Alex Murphy, the RoboCop 2-pack I have. Alex Murphy comes with a flashlight like that, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's really nice.
That's cool. And then you get the little submachine, which also the mag removes on this. With the bullets as well, so I love guns and weapons for figures that come with.
Right.
It looks like you can. This ring moves, so you probably could attach like a strap to it. And then
kind of like Neo comes with. He comes with those 2 MP5s with a strap.
Right. And then the big dog himself here.
The big dog. I think the proportions are great.
I love it. He looks lanky just like he did in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And he feels solid. The Terminator's a little bit heavier. So I have the Terminator that also goes with this guy, which is perfect. His holster there.
Are those pleather or sculpted plastic?
So the main belt is a pleather, it looks like, and there's no damage to it. But the rest of it, I don't even know what material it is. It might be like a mixture of pleather and like a rubber because
it's like
every
rubberized.
every piece you can see has like this peg thing that looks like it's a button or something, but it's like a rubber, like you pull it off and then it
so you could probably put the cuffs and stuff in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can put the cuffs in there, you can put the magazines on this side. His
awesome.
flashlight goes into the hole here. So yeah, in the video I'll probably put it all in there. Yeah. And then you'll be able to see the final look of it. But I think this is really cool. It's got
he's got the name tag and everything. That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's not making out, but like I said, I'll get that in the video. But it says Austin on it, so it's got the actual nameplate and then the badge and badge number and stuff. So,
are the boots that are on them, are those sculpted as well? It looks like it.
Yeah, and I don't think these are boots. Yeah, they're
they're just like low cut shoes.
They're just shoes. Yeah, he's got socks on.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
got
yeah.
on
So
socks.
when I unboxed the Two-Face, I mentioned that in my video. I'm like, oh, that's kind of creepy. He's got socks.
Cool.
It is cool. It's nice attention to detail.
The shirt, however, it is unfortunately yellowing a little bit, but I have heard from everybody and everywhere that it is a pretty common thing. So if I really wanted to, I could probably find like a third-party white
You don't even gotta do
T-shirt.
that. You could just
Yeah.
what people do is so like Han Solo: A New Hope has that same issue, and people have had even the sequel trilogy Han Solo, and people have had good luck just putting it in like tied and hand washing it and letting it soak.
I was gonna do that, but I was afraid of.
Yeah, I mean
ruining
it's
it. I might
it's
do
just
it.
a mini shirt. It's just a mini shirt, so you can absolutely do
True.
that.
True.
But I gotta
and
do
then
that with
this-
my Han
the-
soon.
Splay stand crotch
The
grabber.
old style bases, yeah.
Yeah, with T1000 Terminator.
Alex
2
Murphy's the
Judgment Day.
only figure I have that has that.
Yeah. And wanted to do something else real quick. One more thing. Wanted to get one of these out. Now, in photos, for some reason, when you put these on, they look better. But I think in person, I don't know if I would ever use these because they kind of look thick. So when you just pop them on, they
Flips.
stick. Yeah.
I don't
But
know,
if
man.
you get
I
a
dig
side, they
that.
look weird. I do too,
I
from
dig
this
that a
angle.
lot.
Like, that looks badass. But from that, it kind of, I don't know, it bugs
I
me.
mean, but the thing is, though, it looks like it did in the movie, though, because it's like splashing against the
that's
liquid
what
body.
I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks awesome, man. That's my
Yeah, it
favorite
does.
part. That's like one of the best
Really?
accessories, in my opinion.
I don't know, maybe
That's why I
not.
said if I would get that Sarah Connor disguise figure just to get that head sculpt to put with those little blips where he's getting shot, I think it would look amazing. Yeah, that's cool, man. Because I mean, if you guys have seen Terminator 2, you know this dude was like absolutely relentless. Like it took so much to get rid of him. So this is a great
T2
figure.
was awesome.
One of
It's-
the best
it's
movies
my
of all
favorite.
time, in my opinion.
It's my favorite Terminator film.
Me too, by a long
No,
shot.
well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's after the second one. It's kind of all downhill from there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Terminator 3 was horrible. I hated Terminator 3.
Really?
It's like
I
I hated,
like Terminator 3.
hated RoboCop 3 and I hated Terminator 3.
Yeah, for me, honestly, I can deal with the first. I can deal with the first four. It's really the fifth and sixth one of course, I'm asking myself, why the hell am I talking about the fifth and sixth of the Terminator movies? There's also that too.
A lot of people didn't make it that far.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I saw.
so-
I didn't see Dark Fate until it was actually like.
Well,
on
Dark Fate
streaming.
was where they killed John Connor, right?
Yeah, shotgun
Yeah.
blasted him.
Yeah.
Doom
I
style.
personally I'm in the minority, but just because I'm a huge Terminator fan, I like them all. And I especially like the one, even the new one with like Pops and Amelia Clark playing Sarah. I love
Yeah.
it.
Genesis.
I liked Genesis only because we
Yeah.
got to see Arnold Schwarzenegger like when he was young, like bodybuilding size. I thought that was really cool when he was fighting himself, essentially.
Yeah. What's that new one too, where it kind of retconned them surviving Judgment Day and he killed John? I like seeing
That
that.
was Dark Fate. I hate
Dark
Dark
Fate,
Fate.
yeah. I hated Dark
Absolutely,
Fate.
I hate Dark
Yeah.
Fate
loved
with a
it.
passion.
The fact
love
that
the
they
Terminator
the fact that they
movies,
killed
but I
John
love
Connor was BS. I hated it.
No, I liked it.
No,
It
That's
gave
cool, man.
more
I'm glad you
depth
found it.
to the story, and it was something new, and especially that Terminator that was in that one, like a combination of the past, like the T1000, and then the Terminatrix. Like it just made it
Yeah.
even more terrifying for me, at least.
Are you gonna put your figure in any sort of pose?
No, because I'm saving them for the unboxing, and
So you're
then
just gonna
after
put 'em
I'm
back,
gonna
okay.
take them. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys this figure real quick, and then we'll bring it back. Sean, I know you picked up your Mark V. Are you unboxing that on or off stream? I didn't ask you.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do my first unboxing right now.
Oh, there we go. All right, let me show while Sean's getting that. Let me show a figure that I got in this week that I'm very excited about.
you got
Bam,
the Mark
boy!
85. So you put in.
Yeah.
You just had to roll with everybody
Right,
else. Huh?
I said I wasn't gonna do it, and then I did it just
And
to
then
see
you
what it would
realized-
look like,
and you
and I
just
realized that's where
I
it
knew
belongs.
it.
honestly, if you're gonna do that, that's my one thing between if you were deciding between getting the battle damage or the clean one.
Doc,
No, not
we had a
battle
lot to
strength.
talk about tonight, dude.
Yeah,
We
and
got
we had like all
sidetracked.
actually had something to unbox tonight. So I mean, now we may not have any new hot toy.
Doc,
coming in the
you
next
need to come
month.
on next stream, dude.
Yeah,
Next stream, you're coming on.
you've been able to make fun of me lately, so I need to be able to take some shots at you.
Yeah,
But-
bro, this figure's incredible, dude.
Yeah, this is the one thing I would say with the at least for with the figure format for having the clean version versus the battle damage. The battle damage is the more iconic version of the suit, but I think the clean one you can actually have more reason for doing other poses and action.
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure. Yeah, we talked about that with Chris, because Chris got his clean Mark 85, and that's kind of what we talked about. That was actually on one of the first streams we did on this channel. But yeah, I totally agree. I have plenty of clean Iron Man figures to where I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab this one because I want that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sean, are you almost ready? Or do you want me to keep
No, I'm
talking?
ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
Here we go. Sean's
go back
first
to me
live
real quick.
unboxing.
Oh, my
All right,
bad.
we're gonna go back to you real quick.
I was just
Perfect.
gonna say.
So he's showing his clean Mark 85.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both great figures. You can't, like I said this before, we can't go wrong with either one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love them, dude.
Doc, you spelled "I'm coming on your next stream" wrong.
No,
All right,
he's
we're going
not.
with Sean.
No, he didn't. He knows. what
Sean
he
said
meant.
you're not allowed.
I didn't say that.
I've been waiting. I'm waiting on this guy because I gotta wait for him to
Versus the
come
Mark
in stock
V?
before I
Yeah.
can get him. I gotta
Yeah,
wait.
this
for him
is
to
one
come
I'm
in
on the
stock.
fence about, so I'm interested to hear what Sean has to think.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Sean has
Alright,
to say. I
so-
can't even talk. Jeez.
This actually arrived at my local comic book store. So this is like a record since it was just released.
Yeah.
And my local comic book store, which is a distributor for a sideshow. The comic book store is Dr. Volt's. So for them to already get the Mark V in was, that's pretty awesome. It's record breaking because it's never happened like that before.
Facts. Cam, what's up, bro? So Cam actually followed me on Instagram not long ago, and that's how I found out about his channel. So shout out to Cam's Collection. Check out his channel if you have a chance. Oh, there we go. Doc's coming on, boys. We got him. He's got extra time. All right, sorry. Back to you, Sean. Sorry about that. But yeah,
That's okay.
that's a good point though, because for a comic shop to get something that just released in Hong Kong not long ago and is just now actively shipping it with Sideshow, that's pretty impressive.
Is it showing up okay in here?
Yeah, for sure.
So this is part of my new display area too.
Hey, Cam's collection coming in just in time for Marvel.
Yeah, for sure. It's the Marvel hour now.
So is that showing up clear? Because at this angle, I
Yeah.
can't.
Oh, I like the design on the nameplate. I've never actually seen that.
Okay. So this does not open.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
people have been
unfortunate.
weird about this piece.
It definitely should have opened in some capacity. Still cool though. I like the paint job. The paint job's really nice.
I do too. I like the way it
Yeah,
looks.
but the original never opened. That's why they have that with that functionality with the armor up version that's coming.
Right.
With the
That's
box.
how they sell you the other figure. That's a good point.
Pretty
I
much.
love 1/6 scale briefcases.
I like 1/6 scale anything.
I don't like the new.
You can say that again.
I don't like the new briefcase that came with the Orc.
Yo, look at the damage on that thing. It looks nice. I love
Yeah.
battle damage too.
See, after getting that Mark 85, I'm like, man, I love battle damage. I got the Mark 85 and the Thanos, and I'm like, I'm gonna go with battle damage 9 times out of 10 now.
Yeah,
And-
see,
and it looks-
I agree
Yeah, that
with
looks
you.
great, dude. I'd swap that out for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing though that I would do opposite is like I would collect battle damage, but the Iron Man, I feel like it was specific to the one scene, which is what you have him,
Oh, for
you know,
sure.
and everybody's done. And I just wanted, I don't know, I felt like the clean is mostly what he was, Anyway,
Wow, this has a lot of swap out parts.
It really
That
does.
looks awesome.
Man, maybe I should have picked up the Mark V.
I'm still on the fence. Does the battle damage look like convincing to you, Sean, in person?
In person, like just seeing little parts and everything. I mean, it does kind of look like it's been beat up.
Okay.
But it's kind of one of those things, like you see it parted out or anything, but once it's together, you can either get a yay or nay.
That's true.
So you need the whole togetherness and everything
I agree.
of it.
This is one of the coolest parts of this figure is this swap out arm where you can kind of see the suit underneath, the racing suit. Really, really cool. I love the fingertips. That's like the coolest part. That's so cool, man.
So is this coming in well on my camera?
Good enough, yeah, to where we can see it.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, see, that's what makes me want this figure is little details like that.
For real, I didn't know it came like this.
Cam said that's super fast. Facts, man. It definitely is.
Is it like a standard iron? There's only one version, no deluxe or whatever. So if you pick up this guy, this is all you get.
Well, yeah. Well,
yeah.
There's the other release where he's like armoring up,
360.
basically. Yeah.
It's 360.
Yeah, the arm. I forget the suit up gantry.
Yeah.
This one is a great price for 360.
Oh, absolutely. I'd rather have this one personally because you have more options for display as opposed to the suit up where you're just doing one thing, really.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm stupid. I went for the Mark 85. What am I doing?
I just have to wait for this one to come in stock because I'm using the 10%.
I'm waiting too. I'm waiting to think about it. I'm sitting on it right now.
Well, I've already made up my mind. I'm getting.
See, and now Sean's opening this, and I'm like, why would I buy those comic book figures when I can get a Mark V from the movies? You know what I mean?
For actually still cheaper. For cheaper, not by a ton, but still cheaper.
And this has a head sculpt, a nice head sculpt with that.
And I mean, if you really wanted to, and if you really, really wanted to, then I mean. If you were to pick that up,
that's a good sculpt, man.
You know,
I love the blood detail.
That might make it worth getting that armor up one.
Yeah, Sean, does the neck separate on this one? It kind of looks like it does, or is this all one piece?
It looks like
it actually looks like it'll separate.
Oh, that's good. I know a lot of people make all these customs, and it requires a neck like that, so that's pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, that blood detail is awesome. It reminds me of the battle damage Mark 85. He has some blood on his face too. That's really cool.
You can see right here where.
Yeah.
There's a separation.
You can definitely see the skin tone difference too.
So I don't know if I'd use the headpiece though.
Yeah, on this one I probably wouldn't either. I only have one of my Iron Man with the head sculpt on him because that's one figure I do like having the helmet on.
I know in my Mark 85 video, I was saying I like how protected those things kind of, because it's die kind. You would think the foam block, but just all that plastic is and the foam in between the joints.
Sean, stop it.
No demonetization, please. That's our job.
It's all right. We're not monetized yet. He could do whatever he wants for a while.
Oh, now he's throwing up gang signs.
No, that's ball gazer. That's what that is. I love the articulated hands, though. These are awesome. I'm hoping that Buzz Lightyear comes with articulated hands like this, because it seems like the type of figure that would.
Right. Oh, Buzz Lightyear lights up.
I'm sure he will. So it seems like he comes with all the standard Iron Man hands,
helmet
like the
better retract,
hovering hands
too.
and such. I know, right?
We don't even get a retractable helmet with an Iron Man.
That is true.
That's true. Sean, you got to show us the best part about the Mark V is the way that abdomen area like links together and like clicks up and down. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it so much. That's just amazing engineering right there. Yeah, that's amazing engineering right there.
You know what I want to see them do again? I think they did on older Iron Man figures. Is like where you take the faceplate off and you can see the sculpt in there too.
Yeah, Doc, that's actually not a bad idea.
Before he went nanotech.
This does not come off. So the face
just the top does? Just the top plate for like the batteries?
You would hope so.
That's usually where you put them.
Yeah, there's so many Iron Man figures. They do it differently on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam, this is a nice figure, bro.
Yeah, my brother's
I see.
had the Mark 50 and the faceplate came off, and you did it through the faceplate.
Yeah,
Mine is
I have
on
the
the
Mark
top
50
of the
too,
head.
yeah.
So they're all different.
Yeah, I have the Mark 43, the Mark 50, the Mark 7, and the Mark 85, and I think all of them are different, the way that you put the batteries
I thought
in.
about the Mark 7, but he was just too bulky, and I know it's like I wanted
That's what
the
I
first
love about
Avenger
it.
stuff, but I was like, ah.
That's what I absolutely love about the Mark 7. I love how bulky it is. I told Lane that plenty of times. That's why I like the new War Machine, or the reissue of the War Machine, rather, from Iron Man 2. I love how
you've
bulky
heard
it
me.
is.
You've heard me why I love the Iron Patriot version.
Yeah, the Iron Patriot. He's the bulkiest. He's got the most bulk.
He's definitely the ballsiest. I agree with you.
The thick boy, the ballsiest.
So I
Seems like a lot of foam there, Sean. It's good they put that in though, so it doesn't get damaged.
That's how mine came, dude. The foam's ridiculous. It's in like every single joint.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it tells me something. I think that Hot Toys, if you have one, or Sideshow, if you have one of the $20 coupons, want you to buy like only blurgs or something, or vehicles.
Lane, I hate to say it, but I think Sean's a more efficient unboxer than you.
Hey, this is my first time doing it live too.
Damn.
Dude,
we need to have you practice.
Yeah, well, also, I did have tons of plastic just locked in around a figure that's
excuses. All right, Chris, say what you're going to say. Sorry.
I was going to say I've unboxed a lot of figures, and there's nothing like unboxing in Iron Man. Like the foam block, it's just different. And then the die cast feel, then you can get the cold legs, like, and all those moving parts. It's nice.
Yeah, and actual nice packaging, unlike all the other Marvel figures. Their packaging is trash, bro. Damn, Doc. Doc said you have greasy sausage fingers.
Jesus Christ.
Is that what he just said?
Yes.
That is exactly what he just said.
That is Doc Smizzle in a...
Hey, you give Doc enough shit. I think you deserve a little...
Yeah, well...
What have I ever given Doc?
No, he means giving me shit.
Oh.
I think he just went, oh, okay, well, never mind then.
I love the proportions on this armor. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of Iron Mans, are any of you guys getting the Mech Test Tony Stark or the Mysterio Iron Man illusion? So those are two other upcoming.
So actually, I talked about both of those yesterday on when we were on Nate's stream. We kind of brought
like
those
10
up.
hours.
Yeah, Nate decided he wanted a 5-hour stream, but yeah. So I'm really on the fence about the Mech Test because I love the parts that come with it. It's not the figure itself; it's the accessories. Like I love that little extra the faceplate that has like the markings on it, like he's designing the size of the face mask. I just love all the little stuff and it comes with the Tony Stark proof that Tony Stark has a heart little display that he got from Pepper. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that comes with that makes me want it. It's not even just the figure itself; it's really the accessories. Mm-hmm. So clean, man. How's the articulation on the arms? Because I
haven't really gotten into there yet. But can you guys see the weathering on that?
Oh yeah. Now I can kind of see it. Yeah, it looks good.
Dude, I just love the paint on Iron Man figures in general too.
It's that red
flaking and that red hot rod red. Yeah.
Do you have Whiplash, Sean? Are you going to be getting Whiplash to go with him?
No, I do have Whiplash. I can bring him out in a moment.
Do you have the 2.0 or the first release?
The 2.0. You guys see this?
Good.
Right here for the movement.
Do it again. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that. That's cool, man.
I just accidentally found that.
That's the crazy thing about these Iron Man figures. You can literally sit here for hours and find little different parts that move and such. That's really cool, man. And this Mark 85 is unique. The way that the armor is like linked together, that's really cool, man. The Mark 5 is definitely up there. It's top tier for sure.
So are you one of the guys that puts batteries in or doesn't? Or do you do like
I don't really like to do it. just because
Yeah.
batteries don't last for very long.
Yeah.
So
That's
I do
good.
it because I'm a charge.
I love the sound. I love the sound when you're posing the die-cast figures.
I know they always squeak like that.
That's pretty good
Tell me you
articulation,
have an
though.
Iron Man without telling me.
I love the squeak.
Yeah, the one thing I think, because this guy's a little bit older, there isn't quite as much space in between on the hip areas and stuff like some of the more modern Iron
that's
Man
true.
when you're moving them. But that's like really the only articulation limit I can see on this guy.
You gotta remember too, like most of the scenes with this armor, he was on the ground, if not all of them. I don't remember. Did he ever take flight in the suit?
That's why it doesn't come. It doesn't come with the flight stand.
Yeah, so you don't got to do anything crazy with him. So I think what we're seeing here, what Sean has shown us as far as articulation is good enough. Tread watch, that's what they call it. Sideshow tread watch.
yeah, I'm not going to do that. I just meant to show that the whole that it could possibly fly because those are right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think
just
that
get a flight
this
stand.
mark could actually fly if it wanted to. I didn't think it could.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Doc says he loves you, Lane. You didn't say it back. That's messed up.
You're awesome, Doc.
Why wouldn't you say it back?
Yeah, you can't just say you're awesome. You have to say I love you too, and then you're awesome. You add that afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And look,
Sorry,
he's
Doc.
3,000.
He just disrespect. Yeah, he didn't even love you one. He didn't love you one. Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
I wonder if it goes all the way up the leg like that, or is it just towards the bottom?
And I'm finding out right now.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at this, man. I'm like, why would you get the suit up? That's so cool. Like, why would you get the suit up?
I ordered
This is
both
definitely-
the deluxe and the regular suit up.
Well, there you go. But I'm saying if you had to pick one, though, I think this is the one.
This
Just
is what I
because
would
of
go
the
with.
versatility. Yeah.
Well,
for
yeah,
sure.
I only think you would get the suit up if you were already had the other one, or you were going to get both. I think there's zero reason to get the suit up unless you really need it.
Iron Man 2 was a
suit
good
coming
movie,
out.
though, so I don't blame people for getting both. Lane does not love men, apparently. Well, look at his taste in statues. We know he doesn't love men.
So funny.
There's
I forgot
nothing wrong with
that.
not loving men.
All right, fair enough.
You know, Lane doesn't want to love men. He doesn't have to love men. If Doc wants to be jealous of that, Doc can be jealous of that.
Yeah, Doc.
Doc Wan, Lando
was great.
Calrissian and Wan pansexual. Are you willing to date droids, Doc?
Stop it.
Well,
I
Doc
just
has his
completely
wife around.
Yeah, facts. I completely toned that droid out of my head because those scenes with that droid were ridiculous. That I love droids, and that's one droid I'm like, just stop. That's too much.
Less of that droid, more of Chopper.
And K2SO and
Yeah, it's just any other.
even the loader droid from
those
Kenobi.
Just those freaking assassin droids from the old Vader Marvel.
Facts.
comics that were like
Facts.
murdered everything in sight.
Right. If there's one thing I could say about Doc, I know he'll always have my back with Natalie Portman.
Yeah,
Because Natalie Portman she's the mom number one.
Well, you're just looking forward to getting after seeing Love and
I
Thunder.
agree.
You just want to get. You just want
Facts,
to be put.
bro. I want to
you
see
just-
those juicy arms. That's what I
Yeah,
want to see.
you just want to be put into a sleeper hold and put out while being by
And
that
then-
bicep.
And then hit me
Who
with
doesn't?
Mjolnir while you're at it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
wow.
See, Sean knows. Sean knows.
I gotta
Come on.
go.
There's nothing like being dominated when you got a woman that can grab Mjolnir and put it on your chest and you can't move and you just gotta let what happens happen.
What'd you say, Chris? Sorry,
Nothing. I was down for whatever Sean just said.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Facts.
I was mesmerized by that.
That bit of line is she just like I gotta wait no never mind.
That's crazy, man. There's so many moving parts on that figure. Like even more than like the Mark 85, I feel like. Just because the way the armor's constructed.
It looks great.
Yeah, I'm tempted, man.
Sean, do you guys remember when did the original one of this come out? Was it like 2015, 2016,
yes.
2017?
It's something like
The
that.
plastic version?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Yeah,
this is the first diecast, though, right?
No, this is
yeah.
this is the reissue of the first diecast version.
Oh,
Okay.
so they've already issued this once in diecast.
Yeah, a couple years ago. This is the reissue.
Okay.
Yeah. I think even if you don't have that gantry version, the parts that move out like that still look like he's suiting up or something if you have them all flared out. I know
that's
a bunch
true.
of the parts do that.
Yeah, and then you have so much more versatility with this one because you can put them in so many different poses. I do have to wrap up here in about 10 minutes because we have a guest staying over, and she's going to be staying in the room literally across from me, so I don't want to be super loud. So, if Sean, do you want to show us your whiplash real quick, and then we'll close up here?
Yeah, I'm just showing that these flaps right here do open as well.
Oh, on the front too, man. Sean, stop it. I literally told myself, I told myself, I don't need the Mark V. I have them on my wish list on Sideshow, but I was like, I don't need them. And now I'm like, bro, that's some good detail.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces that flare out, like I said, to make it look like he's suiting up.
This is an underrated Iron Man. I mean, I wouldn't say if you're going to get one,
I would agree.
Mark 7 or Mark 6, but if you need like a second Iron Man, like you only want to have like a couple or something like that, this guy would be, and for the price point now with a new version of him, this would be if you have Mark 7, but you want, of the Iron Man trilogy, a couple of the things. I mean, I guess we'd probably say maybe Mark 6 over this one, but
yeah,
maybe the Mark 1 when it comes out in 2023 over this one, but that would be even, I think, hedging the bets a little bit. That would be more, I think, because of the new light up technology, you might want to aim for that. But, so you don't got to use batteries, but nice.
Yeah, true. There he is. See, what I would do if I was posing these guys together, I would absolutely have Tony like wrapping remember when he wrapped the whips around him and he walked towards him? I love that part of the fight scene. I would definitely do that. Do the whips have any sort of wiring or anything in them, or are they just loose?
No, the whips, they're just...
I see.
So they connect back here. And they're all one piece. They don't light up or anything. But
the 1/6 scale car.
Yeah, torn up car, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm basically...
Okay.
So it's easier
I've seen people do customs with like L wire. I'm sure you're familiar with that stuff. They did customs with this guy and made like fully light up whips, and I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far.
I wouldn't either. I don't have any other lights in my displays other than like the actual lights that light up my figures, so I wouldn't either. They look good together, though, that's for sure. I'm not a big fan of Whiplash as a character, but they do look good together. And you can get Whiplash dirt cheap right now. I think he was on Amazon at one point for like $175, like the 2.0 too, so. But yeah, appreciate you, Sean, doing your first unboxing. I know we kind of put you on the spot, but I'm sure you're probably happy to get him out of the box. I hate sitting on figures. Yeah, you did better than Lane. No, I'm just kidding, Lane. Lane, you do a great job. Lane's like, all right.
No.
All right, guys. But this was actually our longest stream yet, so sorry.
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
We're here for 3.5 hours. We're pulling a Nate, but thank you for everyone that stopped by and sat through all of the stuff that we did tonight through our trials and tribulations. Yeah. Once again, we'll be live again next Thursday. We'll definitely do some different stuff next week again. We want to ask some questions about collecting and such. So we'll definitely talk about releases, but it'll be a little different from what we've normally done because we're always trying different things. Doc, we appreciate you coming in, man, and we're excited to have you on next week. It's about time. It's about time.
As long as Howard doesn't say, hey, here's like 6 new releases and 7 new releases where we're like, well,
I want that next week.
Yeah, there's more to come.
Philosophical discussion, unfortunately, is on the back thing because we have to stare wide-eyed at this new Iron Man or something like that.
True. As always, we appreciate Lane and Collecting Madness. Collecting Madness, his channel is in the description. Definitely check him out. Again, he will be unboxing that T1000 soon. So definitely check out that video when it goes up. I'm excited to see it in proper lighting and everything. He was just unboxing it for you guys because I asked him to, because I really wanted to see it, and I know you guys wanted to too. Also, big thanks to Sean. This is Sean's second time on, and we like having him on, so we asked him to come back. Sean is always welcome to come on if he's bored and he wants to come on.
Real quick, just to make one mention.
Sure.
On the Facebook, relating to the Iron Mans that we were talking about earlier, the Origin, with the current one, there is a gentleman, Riley-O, who I guess it may have been one who did some of the painting and stuff like that.
Right.
For the thing. He is taking commissions.
I literally said that earlier. I don't know if you heard me, but I was like, I won't be surprised if he starts taking commissions.
He physically has a post up.
There you go, guys. There you go. I don't know what the pricing will be like, but if that's
it's $500 US
to do the work on it, or does that include?
Oh yeah,
the figure?
Bob Dylan commented on that. That was like
yeah.
for shipping and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's for the figure with that alteration.
You gotta really like that figure to pay $50 for that. I'm not saying it's not worth it because I'm sure it's a lot of work.
The time of work and stuff, yeah. But just to mention, you were talking about it that they do have someone who did work on that.
Yeah,
is actually doing that. So if you're gonna be, I mean, if you're considering or getting that figure, it's something you could think about or contact him about and see what he's willing to do. Or
for sure,
he might already have a bunch of orders already by now.
Oh, I'm sure he does, because anyone that was really interested in that figure, they're going to want that done, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, if you're watching the recording and you didn't make it to the live, or if you're still here now, please drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be probably recording the second Hotline Hauls video next week, because I just have so much stuff that I've probably shown on stream already, but I like to unbox it all in one video so you guys can look at it if you haven't been to the streams. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And once again, we will be here Thursday of next week. And we look forward to seeing you guys again. And thank you again if you stuck through it with us. This was definitely a longer stream than we're used to. And a bit of a different format because we had CollectorZown on. But again, thank you for sticking through it. And I hope you guys all have a great night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.